this team. We're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, travel through the open door. Circumstances navigate the path, and life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold on. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. No. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a break for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a lie. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. It's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. But much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it tonight. For the children, it's a given. You gotta give it. Be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lack it. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals.
Yeah. Give back, give love, giving something away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a quick and no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a lie.
Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Things you gotta do, hey. On first base, love is the word. What's up, Dre? Hey, when was the last time we see Dre on second, man? What's up, Big Lloyd? What's up, DB? What up, Reese? DB? What up, Mike Moss? His mama call him JP. We gonna call him JQ. What up? I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight, man, and we gonna rock and roll, man. We got an NFL great in the shop, man. I'm excited, man. He was my nemesis growing up as a kid, man. What up, E1K? What up, D-Rock? But he won a Super Bowl with my favorite team. Such irony, man. Such irony. What up, Gamma? What's up, man? I appreciate you, Big Lloyd, D-Rock. Reggie Owens in the house. What's up, man? The second hour, we'll get on the Errol Spence stuff and we'll rock out, man. And we're going to have fun. But without further ado, man, all-pro Grambling State alum, Cowboy great. Then he became a Super Bowl champion with my New York Giants, man. What's up, Mr. Everson Walls? How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for coming in the shop, man. And it's an honor to have you in here, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, my brother. This is a late call, so I'm okay. I got West Coast in my blood too.
Okay. Super Bowl week, man. Does it bring back any memories or juices flowing of sorts?
No, those juices stopped flowing a long time ago. You know, I'm 61 years old, so yeah. I'm a competitive brother, but not that competitive. I do get excited watching the games, though. Mm-hmm. And, of course, as an old guy, you know, we're always comparing the young guys to us. Uh-huh. You know, but just like the guys before me, the Mel Renfros, the Cornell Greens, and the Mel Blunts, they all probably look at us as like some little snotty-nosed crybabies. That's kind of how we look at the DBs these days. Oh. You know, we give them love. I give the ones love that are balling, but it is a lot of DBs out there that they wouldn't even make my squad. They wouldn't even make the Dallas Cowboys team in 1981, and that's just being real.
I mean, let's talk.
I hate to burst your young folk bubble. I'm sorry. Did I?
Oh, I'm with you. I'm very interested. I'm very interested in who would make the 81 Cowboys team.
Who would not make the 81 Cowboys team? Probably a lot of the guys on the Cowboys right now. I could clearly say that. We have had such a drop in the culture as far as DB play is concerned. You know, we've even had guys that like Deion Sanders came in for a quick stop. We always had the Woodsons. You know, we had the Darren Woodsons, who was amazing. He's a Ring of Honor player for the Dallas Cowboys. Those guys balled out. They had the Super Bowl run in 1990. Before that, we had Thurman Steves. That was myself, Michael Downs, Dennis Thurman from USC. All of us overachievers, as they thought, because they picked us as cheap labor. But we ended up balling out. We got so many interceptions in the 80s as Thurman Steves. You guys have forgotten all about it. They only want to talk about it because they pale in comparison these days.
Right. Well, you led the NFL in interceptions, what, 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years, man. Talk
in
about
the 80s, yeah.
In the 80s. And how would you compare yourself to a guy like this generation may say Terrence Newman of the Cowboys?
Oh, no. Terrence was a good player. Terrence was solid. He wasn't much for the turnover ratio, but he was one of those guys that you would say was more of a shutdown. Kevin Smith, we call him Pup.
Yeah.
You remember Kevin Smith from Texas A&M, my homeboy from down south in North Texas. Straight up baller. Didn't get many picks, but straight up baller. You really, even with that standard, they didn't get many interceptions, but their style was different. But they still ball. These guys, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Our secondary, our defense was the worst probably in Cowboys history. And that's going back to the first days of the Dallas Cowboys. And therefore, the coordinator got fired. So when you get your defensive coordinator fired, you're not doing a good job. So I'm not saying anything that people don't already know. It's the same thing I say on my podcast every Tuesday. It's frustrating to see how what we continued as Cowboy defensive backs has not continued into the 2020s.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said Asante Samuels. How would you compare his game?
Asante Samuels is a baller. Yes, I like his game. You have every team has one guy. Every team has that one guy. But the Cowboys don't. They don't have that guy yet. They got a great rookie from Alabama, the guy that was doing well. He just stayed hurt, kept getting toasted. You can give up some touchdowns, but you have to make your plays. And his ratio was not good. So that's just what you're looking at. It's kind of frustrating, as I said, to cover.
Who would you pay to see in today's football?
I hate how he calls my team a loss. But the brother from the Rams, Jalen, what's his name?
Jalen Ramsey.
Straight up baller. I don't like the flopping. He flopped on us one game, and we lost. My boy Michael Gallup had him posted, and he flopped on us. But I you got to have guts to expect the referee to make that call in crunch time because he was beaten. But I've seen him play many other games. The guy represents every play. You understand? Yeah. I mean, he's intense every play, and when he's not the guy that goes running all around the field so you can see him. He's going to be right there in your face so you can see it. That's kind of the way I like it. Those kind of players, and not the only kind, but that type of style I can get with.
Yeah, before you became a Cowboy, we went to Grambling State, correct?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Talk about that. The greatest
You don't
coach.
have enough time. You don't have enough time for me to talk
Okay,
about.
give us a vignette. Give us a vignette, a segment on the greatest coach of all time, man.
Greatest coach of all time, Eddie Robinson. He wasn't just a coach, he was that guy. One thing I liked about him was extremely articulate, and articulate like a preacher. I don't mean just a guy sitting up there giving a motivational speech. He's that guy that makes you feel it. You understand? Mm-hmm. He made you feel everything, and he meant that, everything that he talked about, because his passion was so strong for Grambling State. And when you remember some of the anecdotes that he had, oh my God, if you get some Grambling football players together, you wouldn't recognize us, because all of us would be talking like Eddie Robinson. We just mocked him at all times. He was a great guy. His words were very motivating, and even just the way he carried himself. So it wasn't just about words. He walked the walk and he talked the talk. He took the team. He took a university that had nothing.
Sure.
And did everything that had to be done. Not only did he do it for the football team, he did it for the basketball program. I think he was a women's basketball coach. He did it all. I mean, come on, that's old school, right? That's the kind of stuff that we were exposed to, and that's the kind of pride we took with us as we played and wherever we went. So, of course, people don't know it, but they look at HBCUs, and of course they look at just a bunch of brothers out there, organized, might have a little heart, but they don't know what's going on. Well, we took pride in beating back that myth. We traveled as professionals. We had suits and ties everywhere we went. Coach Rob, expressed that clearly. Yes. And so that sticks with you, that you are representing something that is historic.
Sure.
So don't disrespect it. And we tried our best never to do that.
Yeah. Isaiah Stover says, shout out to the OG Everson, one of the best DBs in the game, sharpest gray headline in the game, man. We in the barbershop. Man. So I don't know what.
That's right, in the barbershop. Yeah. I
don't know what they gonna say.
And I do my own hair, so yeah, nobody touches this hair but me. Yeah.
So you went from the greatest coach to ever live to, some may say, one of the greatest coaches in the NFL, and Tom Landry.
Yeah, Tom Landry was tough. I've been under many coaches. I'm sure you'll get to the other ones in the future, but Tom Landry was such I guess the antithesis of Eddie Robinson.
Wow.
One guy you have is true brother. The other one you got a true white dude. He was just true. He was true to what he was. He was a Southern dude from Texas. He flew in the World War. He was all about it. He was all about it in his own way. But he wasn't accustomed to, change. And when you get that way, you can lose a grip on what you're trying to do. Sure. But he taught me a lot. He didn't teach it by communicating with me. I had to observe. Gotcha. Because Coach Landry was not like a Coach Robinson. He didn't want to get close to you. He didn't have to know you. He didn't have to know about your family. All he wanted to do was plug you into these parts. Okay, I'm just plugging you in. All right, the system works. Just don't screw it up. And that's kind of how his system was. One of the smartest coaches ever. He invented the flex defense, which you just don't find that many days. He invented the flex defense, something that came up in the 1960s for Jim Brown. So you're talking about a guy that was a student of the game. He was a player coach when he was with the New York Giants back in the day. I mean, his resume is amazing. And even when he passed, he was probably, I think at that time, except for Don Shula, the winningest coach in NFL history.
Yeah, he sure was. You said it was a difference in terms of structure and how he adapted to you. Can you talk about, was there a cultural shift coming from Grambling where there was a lot of pride, there was a lot of honor, your whole family supported you, and now you go to a Jerry Jones-led team and a Don Shula coach team? Can you talk about you crossing the street?
At that time, boy, you talk about crossing the street. Believe it or not, I lived like 2 miles from the practice field.
Oh yeah, dope.
Well, yeah, no, for real. I could drive. I could jog to the practice field if I wanted to. That's how close it was. So I was blessed in that manner, and I needed that because you weren't going to get much guidance from the entire organization. The Cowboys themselves were pretty much like the state of Texas, very conservative. And if you're talking about back in the 1980s, man, if you're a brother coming from Grambling, you have all the black pride, the black knowledge, the assurance of self. When you have all of that, that kind of rubs people wrong in that type of an organization. And so, you walk around all proud, and they're looking at you as in another way. So, you don't catch much communication from the organization. Coach Landry and I never had a conversation really, unless I got in trouble. Anytime I had communication with the organization, it was through contract negotiations and holdouts and things of that nature, which was extremely adventurous. But at that time, no, it was like oil and water.
Wow.
You're dealing with the Cowboys, and I think that's been well documented.
And the reason why the Cowboys came into existence, some may say, is because of oil.
Good one. Boy, yeah. Your history. You know your history.
Oh,
At that time, our owner was Clint Murchison.
Okay.
So we're going way back, and I think they had something to do with oil as well. But the guys that you always had to deal with, and remember these names, is Gil Brandt and Tex Schramm.
Tex Schramm, yeah.
Tex Schramm was probably the most powerful man in the NFL at that time, even more powerful than the commissioner. The commissioner used to work for him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
How is it now with Jerry Jones? Now, are you satisfied with him being a general manager, or should he just be an owner?
I would love for them to separate all responsibilities. That way you don't have any conflicts of interest. It's almost like politics. You have to be able to bounce things off of each other. If you don't have anyone to argue against, then you have no one to check you. And they just hadn't been checked necessarily. Now, you've got a guy with the Cowboys. It's an African-American, Will McClay. He's very talented, very talented. They kind of give him free reign in regards to the players that he wants to pick. This pandemic kind of spoiled what he had going on because he really did a good job this offseason. But the pandemic just didn't mix well with the guys that he signed. Some of them got hurt, COVID, all that. It just turned into a disastrous season.
Right.
He really put his foot, in a good way, he really put his foot into the recruiting of the players that he had. And it's just a shame that we didn't work out to have a better season, especially on the defensive side, because that's where he concentrated most of his efforts.
Sure.
With the guy Diggs, the young rookie Diggs at cornerback. We brought in Gerald McCoy, from Carolina. He gets hurt in practice. He goes out with a knee, and he's out for the season, and we had to cut him. Wow. So it just kind of buzzer luck thing for the Cowboys this season. But I think as long as they hand things over to Will McClay, they'll be in better shape than they would be by just having Jerry making the decisions.
Let's go back to the 80s, man. Playing for the Cowboys, man. What was that like, man? Me being a Giants fan, the whole in the
we can get to you later then. That's good.
Yeah, because you was on the team, yeah. Right. And I remember you were on the Otis Anderson team, right?
Well, we were on each other's team.
No, he was on each other's team, but he was the MVP of the Super Bowl that year, right?
Yes, he was.
I remember all that.
Let's just clarify. Yeah. This is a barbershop talk.
Yeah. You were, but you had two of the greatest running backs in college football history. Tony Dorsett and Herschel Walker was on.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, we're your teammates, man. And what was the culture like?
Well, there was a big gap between when Tony got there and when Herschel got there. I got mostly Tony Dorsett, and I tell people all the time, that was my Michael Jordan. He was my LeBron James. I just watched him. I don't know, I can't tell how big you are, just from what I see.
I'm 5'7".
Well, Dorsett was maybe. He would tiptoe when they would do his height, and he would try to somehow bend the scale when he was stepping for weight. He was about 5'8".
What?
He was about 5'8".
What?
Maybe 5'9". I give him 5'9" to be generous, and he started lifting weights. I'd give him 190. maybe 190. Be tough to give him 190. He wore every pad that's issued to man because he had to. He was one of the quickest from 0 to 60 that you've ever seen in your life. That's what made him so amazing. He outran angles way before anybody that you've ever seen. The only person that I know may have been faster in the NFL was the one that caught him, and that was Darryl Green. Otherwise, you're just looking at a guy who you just wouldn't believe the punishment that he took. Because, when you're with the Cowboys, you're the running back. That's like being the quarterback of the Cowboys these days. The running back position was just prime. That was the position. Dorsett was the darling of the NFL, and especially of the Dallas Cowboys, which, when you're America's team, that goes a long way.
Sure.
Linebackers from the Giants, Carson, your boy Hunt, Banks.
Yeah, you got the tail end of them. They got to a championship, man. Say it with pride.
Dude, hey, those brothers, when they would catch up with Dorsett, and he wouldn't run out of bounds. He had heart. He had heart. That's just the way they were. They didn't run out of bounds. And so he would go down that sideline, and he's going full speed, and they have the angle on him. And it seemed like 3 people would just hit him at once. And they would just pile drive his little butt, right? because he was so small. And they would, how brothers are when they land on you. Yeah. They don't just, they outlawed that, actually. That's how bad it was. All 3 of them were just like, just like pressing machine. Wow. And he would be the last one to get up. He would get up like he was Fred Sanford. It would take his time. He'd lift up his pants, and he would walk back to the huddle. They give him the ball again, and he's so fast you might not see it. He had more heart than people ever gave him credit for. Tough guy.
How were the one-on-ones with you and Drew? How was that in one-on-ones?
Oh my God!
I know because I played in college, so I understand the one-on-one drill. I understand we hated each other, and then we went to the. I didn't play professional. I played in college, so we went to the CI and we talked a whole lot of shit. You know what I mean? But you and Drew, those battles.
Man, Drew broke my thumb in practice one time. Man, Drew made me curse my coach out one time.
Wow.
My coach tried to use it as a teaching moment because Drew was just beating me like a drum that day. He beat all of us. And he didn't just beat us. It was the way he did it. He was very arrogant about it, as if we didn't even deserve to be on the field with him. That's how he treated us. And at that day, he was right. I remember reaching for a ball as they were throwing it inside, and I'm diving for it. I'm like, I'm going to knock this one down. He won't talk trash on this one. Of course, I missed it. And as I went down to the ground, thumb stuck right in the ground, boom, broke it. Like, you know what? I was so mad, I wouldn't even leave practice. I just taped it up, and we just kept on going. Wow. So my coach comes up to me. He's one of the most country guys you ever want to see. His name is Gene Stallings. He ended up coaching for Alabama.
Alabama head coach.
National championship. That's right. And he also coached for I think at that time, the Phoenix Cardinals. And so he started off with Mel Renfro, Cornell Green. He's coached some amazing players, but he always sounded like a redneck because he just had that draw. Yeah. And I think when Drew beat me the last time, I broke my thumb, so I'm over there just really upset. I can't wait to get back out there and get him again because it was a drill. And he tried to motivate me. He goes, "Shit, Everson, I just don't think you're good enough to play in the NFL." Boy, He went at it. I don't even want to say what I said because that's way worse than what I just said a minute ago. I won't even say it, brother. I won't even say it. We were in each other's faces for about 3 minutes, and that was one of those practices that had an effect on me. Right. I never let anybody get to me like that again. Never let anybody get to me like that again.
Ed Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Dan
Martin. Don't forget Harvey Martin.
Yeah.
My homeboy from Dallas, Texas. Michael Downs. We both came in as free agents. He went to South Oak Cliff High School. Okay. I was on the north side at Berkner High School. We both came in together. He went to a black high school. He went to a white college. I went to a white high school, went to a black college. And we both ended up free agents and both ended up balling out.
How would you sum up your Dallas Cowboy days?
Anticlimactic, I would say. Came in strong, got my 3 years of leading the league, set rookie records, NFL records, and all of that. And then politics got in the way. The strike came in 1987.
Yep.
That was a killer for all of us. Our individual participations in that strike ended up being the downfall for a lot of different characters, key characters during that time. Tex Schramm, in response to our walkout, ended up creating the scab games or replacement games.
Yeah.
I was a union rep out there on the picket line every day. Gil Brandt also still one of the negotiators. Tom Landry took the side of management as opposed to doing like Coach Gibbs did with the Washington team at the time, Redskins. He stuck with his team. He told them, we're going to either stick together, we're going to be apart, either way. And he gave them a choice. So they stuck together and they ended up winning that Super Bowl that year, if I'm not mistaken. And with us, we went totally the other way. It's just like this past regime in the presidency. We were divided.
Yes.
Those that were together, they won. And when you're conflicted as a coach, as Tom Landry was, because he had been there so long, he was management. And he chose a side, and shoot, no more than 2 years later, he didn't have a job. Tex Schramm was fired. Gil Brandt was fired because Jerry Jones came and bought the team. And I wasn't. We went 1-15, and I wasn't there. Right, that's 3 years later after the strike. I'm in New York, and it was by the grace of God things turned out well for me. But that strike ended up just ruining the glue of the team. You know, we weren't together after that. We were a split team in every way. Post strike, we came back fighting each other, infighting in the locker rooms. The following year in '88, we were worse, and that ended up being Tom Landry's last year. And then in 1989, that's when they started the rebuild.
Yeah, and
that's why I say anticlimactic, because my last season, I was 1-15 as a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, and y'all traded Herschel Walker or something, right? If my memory serves me correctly. Or was it the year before?
No, you're right. They traded Herschel, which was, I don't know what Minnesota was doing, but the Cowboys got 3 Super Bowls off of that, you know? nine draft picks and 3 Super Bowls. So
yeah,
I don't know. I guess they're happy. Minnesota, I don't know if they're happy or not. Whatever they got, I don't know. Was it worth it? That's what you have to ask yourself. And then when they got Herschel, they never played him.
They never played him. Who did you look forward to competing against?
Usually quarterbacks that like to pass the ball. Like I picked off Joe Montana a lot of times. Dan Marino I like going against, but I never could pick him off. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Yeah,
that kid sits in their pocket, man. He sits like he's a sheriff on a horse. That's how Marino looked in the pocket. He was just one of those guys, the quickest draw you ever want to see. Of course, Doug Williams was amazing. You know, that was my guy when I was at Grambling State. I watched him go for the Heisman my freshman year.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, I got that.
Watching him develop was amazing. Watching him not just develop, but yeah, we'll get to that. Wow, we'll just do that. Yeah, I just like going against quarterbacks that would challenge you. And those that would challenge me, I was usually pretty successful against them.
Yeah, they're in the chat. They're excited. They say the Redskins won the Super Bowl that year. Doug Williams, man. How proud of you were you of Doug?
I was there. I was at that game.
Wow.
Yes, I was at that game. I was so proud to be there at that game. And when you look at what Doug went through, you know, he's like one of those civil rights heroes that go through unnecessary trials and tribulations. You know, we all go through it, but some things are just unnecessary. You know, like the things that Martin Luther King went through, and you could just name all those guys those civil rights heroes. Well, Doug, as a football player, he had to be that pioneer. He didn't want to be. He had to be. They just kept forcing it on him. He was great in Tampa. He brought a team that was literally a joke into playoff prominence. They went to the championship game, if I'm not mistaken. That's as deep as they've gotten. That's the best he could do with no squad around him.
Right.
Goes from there. They ship him off. The racist organization of the Culver Houses with Tampa. Ship him off to USFL. I think he went to Arizona, then Oklahoma. I was coming in one night. I don't know what I was doing. A USFL game was on. It was the Oklahoma Wranglers versus somebody. Doug is out there in the rain. This is a guy that played in the NFL. He had just left Tampa. They ship him off and bring in Vinny Testaverde of all people.
They sure did. They sure did.
So Doug is hanging out there. He goes to USFL for the Oklahoma Wranglers. It was raining so bad, and Doug's knee was one of the worst knee. Right now, he needs to have his knee replaced.
Wow.
I think because of his experience in the USFL.
Wow.
He was getting beat down. And just like Doug, never takes a sack, fighting everything off for a team that was garbage, that did not deserve his presence. And he's out there fighting for them as if he was in the Super Bowl. I will never forget that game. It was late. It was raining so hard. And I was thinking to myself, how did Doug Williams get there? And it just lets you know how unnecessary it was for him to be there. Sure enough, I don't know who signed him. I think Coach Gibbs.
Coach Gibbs, yeah.
He saw him somewhere. I think there's a famous story about that. They somehow hook up with each other. And even though they appreciated him, they still made him climb and claw his way to the top to play in that Super Bowl game.
Is there racism in the NFL?
Yes.
It is?
It is.
Like, how can you explain it?
The fact that we were just now happy with black quarterbacks, that just lets you know that's the basis of what the NFL is all about. They're making moves. They're trying to make moves. You know, the commissioner came on during the pandemic and, you know, did his best to talk about the mistreatment of Kaepernick and so many others that we don't want to speak of. But if you realize the commissioner stood alone, there were no owners behind him. I can't recall one owner co-signing what he said. And maybe I'm wrong. Did you hear of anyone?
No.
Any owner? I know Jerry didn't say anything.
Colin Kaepernick, correct?
Any statement that right. Goodell made when he came out with that I guess around 30-minute apology, right?
Yes.
By himself, correct?
Yeah.
I have not heard of any owner that supported anything that he said.
Why is there such a disconnect between like in the business of in football? Like I saw a quarterback become in the NBA, they say a lottery pick, right? The kid out of Ohio State. And then they can just cut him and just cut the water off so fast. What? How do you explain that? And what's the solution? And
well, you know, everything's, you know, always slow changing. Always slow changing. The fact that you have the commissioner himself coming out and apologizing for something that we know was foul from day one and was politicized from day one, and somebody finally stood up and said something. The fact that he said that, you know, that there's still some type of a, you know, light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But when you look at the owners, pretty much all owners, they're just old school. You know, everything that America has had to overcome when you go way back in the day, you know, there were barons, you know, like the guys that own these teams,
right,
that had a certain mindset. You know, they were businessmen. You know, they shucked all, you know, conventional means, and I'm going to do it my way. No one's going to show me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have when you're looking at these owners, not just NFL owners.
Wow,
they're extremely stubborn in what they do because they're so doggone successful.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you to tell me what to do and how to do it? And that has permeated for quite some time. Well, from the beginning of professional sports. Okay, and it's gonna take more than George Floyd. It's gonna take more than Biden. It's gonna take a whole lot more than that for those owners to change their ways.
Did you have any personal experiences dealing with racism in NFL?
Well, I've always just thought the standard operating procedure was racist. You know, I mean, just to me, you know, you've got, you know, guys dismissing HBCUs.
Right.
You know, the fact that I wasn't drafted, to me, I think is from the basis of itself, not just because I wasn't drafted, it was racist. It's because I was on a national championship team, Black college national championship team. Yeah. And I can't think of maybe one person from that team got drafted. That's 4 years after Doug Williams got drafted. Yeah. You're telling me we got nobody on a national championship team that's worthy of playing in the NFL?
Right.
And it wasn't just Grambling. It was Jackson State. It was South Carolina State. It was all of them. We are always going to be considered, I call it cheap labor. That's what I call it. I just call it cheap labor.
You mentioned Jackson State. Deion Sanders has that job now.
Yeah.
Is that a shot in the arm?
I think so. Yeah, I always tell people, you know, Deion and I are like a totally different ends of the spectrum. But, you know, I've always respected what he's done. You know, he talk a lot of trash and he act like he's some, you know, outside the box guy. But Deion, he knows how to carry himself. I don't think Deion's ever gotten into any trouble on the field.
Yeah.
Everywhere he's gone, he's won. And he's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So you can't help but give him love and realize the resource that he is for really any school that he goes to, but especially HBCUs, because, you know, we really need it at this point. I think he'd be a huge shot in the arm for us. I hope we can, you know, get this whole thing together as far as the pandemic and things of that nature, so he can really show, you know, through crowds and attractions and things of that nature, you know, what HBCUs can be all about. Because let's be real, you know, Deion will fit in real well with any halftime band at Jackson State, at Grambling, at Southern. You know, I mean, that's Deion. You see the drum major come out at the beginning of halftime, who you think of? Come on. Yeah. Prime time. You think of prime time.
Right.
So he fits perfectly for HBCUs.
Y'all were polar opposites. Is that what it was? They're like polar opposites. And Big Dog Willie want to ask. We was gonna get there because I know that's probably the greatest defense of all time. But what was it like playing with LT, aka Lawrence Taylor?
Hey, that was crazy. That was crazy. I was there my first year. I played there a couple of years, but that Super Bowl year. If this your squad, I'm telling you, you know, I'm preaching to the choir. He held out that whole training camp. He didn't have one training camp practice at the beginning of that 1990 run. And when he came back, the first game was Sunday night, I believe, against Philadelphia Eagles. And he got 3 sacks in the first game on Sunday night. So that just says it, man. And when he's not getting sacks, you know, I've stroked my ego while I'm on this pandemic, because sometimes you're stuck with nothing to do. So you look up old YouTube games, right?
Yeah.
And And then also people send me posts on Twitter. I think they got Big Blue VCR or something like that. They go back to the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're choosy. So they'll send me a clip of where, I did something. And every time I did something, the backdrop was always LT was chasing the hell out the quarterback.
Wow.
And so the quarterback's just like trying to get rid of it. And here I am looking good, So no, it was a blessing, man. It definitely furthered my career.
Uh-huh.
And I've always said it, it's still a team game. Mm-hmm. And my contribution, I don't mind being boisterous about it at all. That team, it taught me a lot. It really did. Playing for Belichick and Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Totally different atmosphere from Tom Landry's locker room to Bill Parcells' locker room. Mm-hmm. Guys were just so confident. They were treated as men, and they responded on the field as men. They weren't treated like players. We were treated like men, and we were extremely responsible in what we had to do. The locker room, especially defensively, we were pretty much mentally linked. Those guys were, man, they inspired me, and I was older than they were. And they just really inspired me on how Carl Banks was so professional. Pepper Johnson was just
Harry Carson.
well, Harry had gone. Harry
was gone. Oh yeah,
it was the same. It was no drop off. Not saying Pepper's a Hall of Famer, but the intensity that Pepper brought. Harry was just a professional. He was that guy. Like, he was never out of place. He inspired by his play, just by his presence. He scared you. But Pepper was that guy that he just, he brought the energy with him. And anytime I made a play, man, he was the first one to meet me. Wow. And so, those were the days, man. Those were the moments that was so different from being in Dallas. Now, once again, I grew up in Dallas. Yeah. So I know the culture of the state, of the city, and all of that. But going to New York was just a big, it was refreshing because, of course, the culture in New York is so different from the culture in Texas. And Parcells epitomized that, straight up blue collar New Jersey dude, didn't take no trash, but he was thick skinned. You could say some stuff to him, he'll snap back. So that's what I like, that New York style. No pretenses. This is what I am. So you don't like it, then that's your problem. That is what I liked about playing up in New York.
And you also had Bill Belichick as a defensive coordinator, correct? Was he the defensive coordinator?
He was a DC.
DC.
When I say I learned a lot, that's what I meant. I learned a lot about football because in Dallas, I was just a cornerback, okay? With the flex defense, you're out there on your own. So I had to figure things out on my own in regards to playing man-to-man, in regards to I'm going to play this receiver, where he's lined up, things of that nature. I had all those tips just from experience. But Belichick knew situations, and I was amazed at how he was able to anticipate those. So that helped me. It helped me make some plays. It helped me be in right position. It helped me think like him for just a bit.
Wow.
And we had a nice connection. That's why he let me call those plays Super Bowl 25. He trusted me to call the plays. I had never done anything like that before in my life. I was a cornerback. But here it is, the biggest game of my life. He chose to change, to flip the script. And so I'm just glad I was ready.
Can you summarize that run? We'll get into the SWAC and the Hall of Fame in a second. Can you summarize that run that y'all made in 1990? Because that Super Bowl was here in Pasadena, correct? Was that? No, that was.
Super Bowl was in Tampa.
Tampa.
Yeah. It was at the Sombrero.
Sombrero, yeah, sure was.
We're talking old school. It was at the Sombrero.
Yeah. How would you?
That run was, we started off 10-0. We were just unstoppable. And I think the last 6 games was probably the most important of that season because we went 3-3. And I think we needed that 3-3. Because we were 10-0. We were killing it. And they couldn't stop us. LT was just out of control. We even played, I think LT was I think he had gotten hurt at one point during the season. We were still rolling. And I think the 3-3 humbled all of us, including the coaches. And it made Belichick go off into his bag. It made Parcells look at that offense and realize, okay, this is the kind of offense I want. I have Hostetler now. Phil Simms had just gone down.
Yeah.
Hostetler comes in. So they changed the offensive game plan as well. And it became even more blue collar, even more New York Giant. You know what I'm saying? It was more lunch pail. We weren't trying to be cute. We just coming out there hitting people in the mouth. That was it. You know, and that's what we needed in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, because I remember it was so vanilla. You know, throw the ball to Mark Bavaro. You know, hand it off.
Hand it off to Hampton. Hand it off to OJ. You know,
yeah. Maurice
we had one of the fastest guys in the league, and we got him running sidelines. We got Baker running sideline routes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we
did a touchdown, mate. Yeah.
We kept it close to the vest. But then when we went to the playoffs, all of a sudden, Chicago Bears, man, we blew them out like 30-3, 38-3. We're going up top. You know, the defense is back. Tom Zach is about to have a heart attack.
Tom Zach.
Yeah, we were killing those. He didn't even belong in that stadium. He did not belong in the stadium that day. He was totally overwhelmed. You know, then the next game was the game. It was the 49ers. You know, we went up there. They had beaten us early that season.
You got your get back.
Football. I think the score was like 7-3. And just let you know how good their defense was.
Yeah.
So this wasn't just about. We knew it wasn't going to be any high score. We had two defenses that were very good.
Sure.
And Ronnie Lott, you know, Carlton Williamson, Tina Turner, Fred Dean, you know.
Yeah.
Those guys were studs, man, and they were together. They've been together a long time. You know, I think they had 3. Did they have 3 in the 80s?
Yeah, 3.
So there you go. We had to stop them. They considered that team. They considered that team one of the best teams. They tried to say one of the best teams in NFL history. That's what they tried to say. Because Jerry was on that squad.
Yeah, John Taylor
was on that squad. Roger Craig was on that squad.
Tom Rathman.
Was Russ Francis on that squad?
I can't recall.
You had some. We had the whole game was full of big names.
Wow.
And they held us to 5 field goals, but it was 1 too many. So that's how we ended up in Tampa.
DB's on the line, the great co-host. DB, what's up, DB?
How you gentlemen doing? How you doing, sir? Oh, legend.
Doing fine, sir. Who is this?
This DB. He captured.
I like your initials.
Right on. Likewise. I'm sitting here looking at you, and I'm like, he looks like a combination of Oscar Robertson and Charles Oakley.
Oh yeah, I get the Oakley all the time. Yeah, yeah. Oscar's a bit bigger than me. What's Oscar? About
6'4", maybe 6'5". Yeah,
6'5". Oscar was the man.
Yeah. So it's February 1st, and I just wanted to switch reels just for a second. It's Black History Month.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I wanted you to kind of tell us what Black History Month means to you.
Black History Month means to me is just the way I try and live my life. You know, it's about representing your people. You know, it's about righting your wrongs. You know, it's about definitely not being perfect, and it's about having empathy for others. You know, the one reason I think that we're in this position we're in now is because, and it's no secret, people have said it way before me, and they said it way before the people that we just recently say it. You know, just trying not to be silent with everything that you know is bullshit. You know, and that's not just white people. That's Black people as well. You know, we became complacent. We became scared. You know, we were complicit in the fact that we did nothing. And so I have tried to be that person that tried to do something. You know, I was a union rep with the Cowboys, locker room lawyer, I guess, you know, and those kind of things, which has always been the problem. Trust me, I'm no different from a lot of guys that have done this. It affects your career, and you have to be prepared for it to affect your career. That has always been the way that I was raised. My parents knew that if you sacrifice something, that you're going to have to pay. That's why it's a sacrifice. And so I was brought up with people that thought like that. You know, my dad was a big old dude. He didn't like taking crap from nobody. He didn't care what color you were. And I used to watch him. I tell people all the time, I used to watch him go out and so-called collect money because he was an independent businessman. He was legit now, but he had to go collect his money. You know, when the invoice is out there, he got to go get his money. And he was one of the few people I know where whoever the color was, if you show respect and demand respect, you will get respect. And that's the way my pops carried himself. So to me, that's what I saw him as a black man, black strength. To me, that is Black history.
Right. Great answer, man. Thanks for sharing that. And what was your take on Colin Kaepernick's stance? And also, have you ever thought about or did you boycott the NFL for any period of time?
I did not boycott. We did not call for that. Once again, union rep, we called for the walkout, for the strike in '87. I was indoctrinated to football politics in '82 because that was also a strike that I went through. So I went through 2 strikes. Wow. So you start to learn about the politics of football, you know, and so, you know, those are things that we just had to deal with. My only my more rebellious aspect of playing was, first of all, people can see, when they first see you, they can tell what you're about. And they can tell if they can BS you or not. So depending on how you carry yourself, they will already know if they're going to have an issue with you or not. And I would imagine I was one of those guys in the locker room that was like that. And I started hanging with other guys in the locker room that was also like that. I always bring up my boy Ron Springs. He was Dorsett's fullback, but he was both of our buddies, and I ended up giving the kidney to him a few years ago. It's down 2007, a long time ago. And so, you know, those are the guys that influenced me even further because I already came in with that HBCU attitude of, you know, you will not disrespect, you know, the legacy that I'm trying to carry on. And so you couple that, you know, with the fact that, you know, everything got so political and things of that nature. My rebellious acts came in the fact that I had the balls to hold out in contract negotiations. I was never afraid to match wits with Gil Brandt or Tex Schramm or whatever coaches tried to fool me into signing contracts that were not worth my talent. And so it was a systemic thing that we had to fight against. And if they thought you were dumb enough to fall for the okie doke, they would try you. And, you know, once you show them that that's not the case, then they realize the other aspect of it is this is a guy that we are not going to make things easy for. You see, they know negotiations are going to be tough. So they're like, hey, there's no free agency. So we have the upper hand. And that you pretty much know how that's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm. If the premier high school players right now started choosing HBCUs over the predominantly white colleges, what would their chances be? Like, what kind of exposure would they get in terms of like the scouts and whatnot? What are their chances of getting into the league?
Oh, getting into the league wouldn't be a problem. It depends on how you would get in. You certainly wouldn't be drafted as high as you would going to what they call Power 5 school. I couldn't see that. You would get in. You may get drafted mid-round, even if you were amazing. Jerry Rice came out. They understood what he was all about. And Mississippi Valley was not winning a lot of games, but Jerry was going off with he and Willie Satellite Totten. But when you really take a look at the situation, going to an HBCU would be a sacrifice. It would be a statement that you would have to be making. And you would have to know what you're doing. You know, don't be naive about it. If no top high school player would be directed or consulted to go to an HBCU. His best friend, his mom, his dad, they would say, man, you shouldn't go there. They would tell you that because they know that that would be a big hit to you financially in the draft. Now, that doesn't mean that when you get in the league, you're going to make it up. Like I had to do as a free agent, like Michael Downs had to do as a free agent. You can make it up, but it's going to be, that hole's going to be a little deeper. So you have to be prepared for what you're sacrificing.
Yeah. In Spike Lee's old movie, School Days, do you remember that movie?
Of course.
Yeah, there was a halftime motivational speech by Coach, and I think it was played by Ozzie Davis.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be Eddie Robinson?
I hope not. Eddie wasn't that funny, first of all. But no, I would imagine. I'm sorry. That was a funny scene. I would imagine it could really, you could pick any black high school coach as well, right? I mean, that could come from that could come from my father. You know what I mean? It could come from my uncle. You know, that's pretty much any black coach that you see out there because we're always desperate. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Desperation was shown in Ozzie Davis' role. That was good stuff. Thanks for laughing. I appreciate that, brother. Thanks for laughing.
Yeah, the great Ozzie Davis and the great Eddie Robinson.
The great late Ozzie Davis. That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he actually eulogized Malcolm X, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man. Y'all, we going back. We going way back now, guys.
I was thinking about this. Kobe Bryant passed away, in recent times, and there were golfers and NASCAR drivers and Formula One drivers and people that we didn't expect for him to have influence over, or on. And just with you being a high-level athlete, who do you think is the most influential athlete of all times?
That's easy. Muhammad Ali. I think
that would be the answer. And I was gonna actually say, if we removed Muhammad Ali, then who would it be?
If you remove Muhammad Ali, God, I was always a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan. But the thing about Kareem was Kareem didn't. Let me say this: Kareem was extremely intelligent, and it was tough for Kareem to bow down, I guess, to the people that were challenging him, meaning the media at that time. They didn't understand him at all. He was an extremely deep brother. But if he were to express how he really felt, I don't think it would come out well. We would understand it. But, those others would be, it would be a little bit confused. So I don't think he even tried to waste his time. But right now, and I'm sure Kareem would say so, LeBron James right now, probably the most influential in the right way. You got guys that are influential in so many ways. But in regards to for us, not just us, but just for society alone, keeping up his end of the bargain and trying to make sure that others do as well. I'd say LeBron is right now the best natural resource we have in black sports.
Thank you for that. And just recently we were having a conversation. We started talking about college football players. And well, I guess I don't give you the answer, but who do you think the best college football player of all times is? Or the best that you've ever seen? How about that?
Doug, man. Doug. Doug, man. I mean, it was HBCU, and just oh my God, man. I was a freshman. I was still 17 years old, and Doug had that was his 5th year. He had redshirted. He was like 23, I guess. Man, that's a grown man. That was a grown man. He was out there, man. It's like he was pulling strings with the ball. Just the way the touch, the strength, the accuracy, the way he looked in the pocket. You know, I talk about Marino looking like he's on a horse. No, Doug Williams looked like he was riding on a horse in the pocket. I mean, man, it was just amazing to watch. I mean, we were blowing people out, you know, of course, that was just the way it was. But just seeing the way he did it and just at the ease that he did it, the confidence that he had, you know, at being 17 years old, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It to this day, man, it made going to Grambling State all worth my while just to watch him play my freshman year.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you for spending time with us. You know, this is a big week for football, and it's a big month for our people, period, man. But we want to thank you. And I know it's great over there.
It's a great time for us. No doubt.
And who Kenneth Johnson wants to know who was inducted with you to 2006 Hall of Fame?
HBCU Hall of Fame?
Yeah, SWAC Hall of Fame, yeah.
SWAC Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
SWAC Hall of Fame. Oh my God. I'm blessed to be with a lot of Halls of Fame, but I can't remember. Is that a trick question? Does he know?
Oh no, he probably does.
I cannot. I wish he'd look it up for me because I cannot remember those guys. I made the SWAC Hall of Fame, and of course, even more proud to be the Grambling Hall of Fame, the Louisiana Hall of Fame. Well, you know, it's in the bio, but yeah, all of them, but the one that.
Why? You know, yeah, and that was my question. Why is that?
You know, once again, I would have to say if I went to another school, I would not be having this conversation with you right now. So I think that's really the best way for me to answer that, brother.
Yeah, because it's a composite of your whole career. Isn't the NFL a composite of your whole career, or is it just right? And you did something.
No, they don't really care about college, but
I know they don't, but it is.
Yeah, it don't matter. I mean, my NFL career stands on its own.
It absolutely does. Yeah. And you did something that was actually extraordinary. You actually wrote a book for it, A Gift for Ron.
Yeah, that was my man. Yeah, he passed. Yeah. He passed a few years ago, but yeah, that was my dude.
And you speak upon your relationship and the inspiration for donating your kidney and how football furthered that.
Well, you know, I talked earlier in the interview about people that were drawn to each other in that locker room. And we were. Now he was the upper class, you know, he was the guy, he was the upperclassman, so to speak, and he was the most popular guy on the squad. And of course, we didn't know that at the time, but of course, when Ron Springs walked in the room, everybody knew it because he wouldn't shut the hell up. But it was always funny. You know, he was an entertainer. I'll tell you how funny Ron was. I just thought about this the other day, and I brought it up to my daughter. Ron Springs was a warm-up act for a music group before. Can you believe that? Ron Springs was a warm-up act, and I'm talking about as a comedian for his homeboy. What's the dude? That's Just the Way It Is. Bruce Hornsby. Bruce Hornsby allowed Ron Springs to be a warm-up act because he was just that funny. So you're going to be drawn to him. And he had a great family. You know, to this day, we're kind of close. And, you know, he took care of me. Even though I was from Dallas, you know, he was the guy that had been in the league longer. So he knew all the ins and outs on, you know, how to save your money, the resources that you have as a Dallas Cowboy, the hookups, you know, that you can get. So he just knew all of that. And, you know, as the youngest guy, as a rookie, you know, not many upperclassmen come and check with you.
Right.
They don't want to get too close to you.
Right.
You know, training camp was usually about rookies hanging out with rookies. But Ron would hang out with the rookies, you know, because first he thought we were funny. You know, he would make jokes about us all the time. And but at the same time, he really did enjoy being with us. And that's what made him the favorite in the locker room. He took a chance on guys that, we could have easily gotten cut. He'd never see us again.
Wow.
And as tough as those football players are, the guys that are veterans, they spare their own feelings by not getting involved until they're kind of sure you might be on the team. So that was a thing back in the day. They just didn't want to get close to you. Ron took that chance, not just with me, but all the time. We would go on business trips, and I would watch how he would play the room. He's very good at it. He had confidence, and he wasn't afraid to make people feel uncomfortable, which basically came out to be a good thing because he allowed them to let their guards down. And, I just thought that was the way he did it was very cool. And he was smart. And so those kind of things, it wasn't, those kind of things was just how he was as a person. But still, our relationship was still even more special because, we hung out all the time. Our kids went to school together, and when I made the Super Bowl, oh man, maybe a lot of people don't know this. I think it's in the book. When we made the Super Bowl in 1991, he drove all the way from Ohio. He was living in Ohio. From Ohio to Tampa, Florida, just to see his boy play. Mm. So he talked a lot of trash. He'd always, talk about me and my mama and my daddy and talk about your mama and your daddy. But when it came down to it, he's gonna be there for you. Everything else was just a charade.
Wow. That was an amazing gesture you did too, man. You saved his life for as long as you could.
Yeah, actually, there were times when he helped his boy out real good when I really needed it. We talk about the Black history. That's the empathy. I could have taken my kidney and gone home. You know what I'm saying? But hell, if I know I can live with just one and I'm in good shape, I tell people all the time, I'd feel real shady around the family. And I'm sitting up here with one good, a good kidney. Like, hey, peace out, Ron. Good luck, bro. I hope you got something going on. But the fact that you want people to say, okay, if I'm in this situation, man, I would hope somebody would reach out for me. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to me and do something for me. You don't have to be a kidney, and I've always said that, but man, gestures just go a long way, man. They really do. And I know that there are times when I have remembered things that people have forgotten that they have done for me. They forgot. I remember. You see what I'm saying? To them, it was no big deal. It was just another day for them. And those are the guys that I admire all the time.
Great story, man. And great inspiring story. This is a boxing channel as well. And y'all have a few champions down in Texas. Are you a boxing fan at all?
I used to be. I'm still kind of there.
Uh-huh.
But I used to go to boxing matches all the time.
Uh-huh.
I didn't miss a match in Vegas.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I even saw. I never should have gone. I skipped a Jim Kelly football camp up in Olean, New York, to go to Atlantic City. The kids were waiting on me one day. I was like, man, I gotta go to this fight. They didn't even have a DB coach the next day because I wasn't even there. That's how much I wanted to go see Tyson and Spinks fight.
91 seconds.
Yeah, That's right.
I
dissed the kids for 91 seconds. I dissed the kids for 91 seconds. So yeah, I'm definitely a boxing fan. Definitely a boxing fan.
Yeah, I have a champion down there by the name of Errol Spence in Dallas. In Dallas, he's a bad man.
I saw him fight too. I saw him fight recently. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bad man, and we genuinely appreciate.
He's a real bad man. He went through. He can fly, and he's trying to fly, and he still made it to the match. So yeah, he's strong. He's strong.
Yeah, he's strong, and we appreciate you coming in, man. And thank you, team, for putting this together, man. Thanks, PPD, and appreciate you coming in, and more than welcome to come back too.
I had fun, guys. I had fun. I'm gonna have to check you guys out.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Walls.
Yes, sir, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Appreciate you. Hey, DB.
Another good one.
Yeah,
Peoples Hernandez. Did you hear that? Is that 5 mics, Peoples Hernandez? PPD strikes again. Salute to the Queen.
That was fun, right? That was fun. I had fun doing that. That was fun.
Man, we have all these people, man. We got so many great people, man, that look like us and represent us, man. And, there's an old saying, right? I'd give you the shirt off my back, or he'd give you the shirt off of his back.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when somebody really give you their kidney,
Sheesh.
I mean, scratch the shirt off the back, this person give you their kidney. You know what I mean? How many people in the chat know somebody that for a fact will give up their kidney that's not related to them? Right?
Right.
I mean, just think about that.
Right.
That's, yeah. I don't. I don't know. Not for a fact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'll give you mine, but I don't know that you'll give me yours back for it.
Right.
Yeah, man, this was great, man. It's always inspirational, man, to know that we have these, these OGs, man, and they don't all sell out. We got the Charles Barkley. I don't have to say the names, but we got these dudes, and they sell out, man, and they'll do anything, and they'll promote poisonous vaccines, and they'll do whatever they can just to make a quick dollar, because their career's over, and they want to stay relevant, and they want to stay getting checks, so they bow down to the system. And to know that we still got some people that's strong, and to be that age and to still be as vibrant and active, and by the way, in order to give a kidney away, you have to be healthy. Mm-hmm. You have to have A1 health. So, man, it's just all good, man. All good to see and to hear. And it's that was a feel good story. And now I'm interested in the book.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. It was a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. Why you seem down now?
Oh, I'm not down. I'm not down. Oh, I'm definitely not down. Definitely not down. No.
I was like,
well, I had a lot more notes on there that I want to ask. You know what I mean?
But, I did too. I had probably about 10 more, but that's why we save them so when they come back the next time, the conversation can continue to flow.
Yeah. Well, all the Raider fans, get ready, man. Lincoln Kennedy will be in here tomorrow night. You know what I mean? That'll be fun. You know what I mean? That'll definitely be fun. So
Raider fans are like a cult.
They are. They definitely is. So are the Cowboy fans, though?
Well, let me tell you the difference. The difference is the Cowboys have been in the playoffs. They've had a lot of great players. They've been to Super Bowls. They won championships. The Raiders haven't. So when somebody still maintains that level of fandom for a team that hasn't won, they are real fans. You know what I'm saying? It's always easy. Like, for example, right? Like, I'm a Laker fan. It's easy to be a Laker fan. Lakers had Shaq. Lakers had Kobe. Lakers got LeBron. Lakers got AD. Lakers had Magic. Kareem. And so, right? It's hard to be a real fan of a team that's not winning. And for those Raider fans, man, yeah, they hardcore. They die hard, So, yeah, salute to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Raiders. Yeah, and Chris Berman's voice. Yeah.
What was it again?
No, the Raiders and Chris Berman's voice. That's what Damon Walker said.
The Raiders.
That Raider, yeah.
The Berminator, huh? Yeah, man. They had some dudes, man. Chris Berman, damn, what's the brother name? Stuart Scott, man. They had some OGs that went through there, man.
Yeah. Chris Berman's still alive, right?
Yeah,
I
believe he is, but I don't think he's on the network anymore.
Oh, he's not?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe we'll try and get him on. I don't know. If he's not on ESPN, we'll try and get him on. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Stuart Scott, he's one of my favorite, man.
Oh, yeah, he made ESPN cool, like the other side of the pillow.
Yeah. It's crazy because he changed journalism and reporting.
Yes. I say that all the time. Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you see people and it's so relaxed and I mean, if you look back, right? I mean, you're older, but if you look back, I don't know, 80s, 90s, and just kind of look at sportscasters, newscasters, anchor men or whatever, everybody was dressed a certain way. They all spoke the same way. It was like what they call Ohio. You know what that means, Ohio?
No, what does that mean?
It means just like there's no high, there's no low, there's nothing. Everything is just right in the middle. Like there's no accent, there's no twang, there's nothing else. It's just straight up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And all the reporters, they all sounded the same way, And in the current news today, and once he came around and, he was like, man, like this is, this is how it is. And I'm pretty sure that there was a power tie executive somewhere heard him talking, and obviously they have to allow that, right? Yeah, but they heard it and it was like, shit, let's see. Like, yeah, you can just be normal, just be yourself. You don't have to change and put on a high pitched squeaky voice to sound like Bob Dabalina, because you're Stuart Scott. And it shit worked, man. And it definitely had me like as a youngin, excited. Like, oh yeah, I wanted to hear this. So yeah, Chris
Berman is still alive. I just googled. I know Stuart Scott gone, but yeah, man, rest in peace. I cried when Stuart Scott died, man. I shedded a tear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, let me see. Go in the chat, man. I can't see nothing. I ain't seen the chat. What are they talking about? They talking about what's up to all the family? Dave, Jack, Jaquan, Pickett, JQ. I've seen a couple of new heads in here. Have you seen Damon Walker before?
Nope.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, let me see. There's Abbey Bulldogs.
Nope.
Welcome to the show.
And let's see, who else? I saw some another person in there. No, we seen we know you. Yeah, we know Kenneth Johnson. We know Mir. Yeah, I think it was one more. I didn't see him, but I guess so. Okay, maybe you left. If it is, it wasn't him. See. All right, and for the rest of the people that's in here that we can't see, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yep. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Damn. So now, you said something about EJ earlier. What was it?
No, EJ outsold Clenelo.
Yeah, I watched half of the video and then I had to break out. But can you break it down a little bit?
Yeah, I put the actual numbers on it, but basically he outsold them in the same market, San Antonio and similar markets, excuse me. And I just get tired of people, one, black athletes not accepting their greatness, and two, the business of boxing not acknowledge the business of everything, as we just heard with Everson Walls, not acknowledging them. Like so many athletes say it blindly. Even all minorities. Oh, Clenelo was this. No, the numbers say it's not. And I've been saying that for about 3 years now. Oh, Fred, you're a racist. No, I'm telling, man. I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving away free money. If I'm HBO and this guy is bringing in $100 million, which is what a million pay-per-view buys is, and all I got to do is set up infrastructure, you get what I'm saying? I'm not giving that away, So the numbers has been skewed and have been fraudulent the past 4 years of his career, and the business and the people in boxing has just accepted it. Oh yeah, Clenelo. People say it blindly now. Oh, Clenelo is the face of boxing. No, Deontay Wilder is. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder is the real face of boxing.
Right.
And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the pay-per-views say the truth. So Errol Spence is the second face of boxing as there is, Batman and Robin, or however you want to configure it. And two, the business heads in boxing are giving too much to Clenelo. DAZN gave Clenelo a $35 million contract, right? Whatever it was, $365 million. Al Heyman offers him 3 fights for $75 million. Bob Arum will probably say blindly. I don't know. I'll ask him when he comes on. Canelo is the face of boxing. The numbers don't support that. The numbers do not support that. And I've been on this soapbox all by myself, for the past year, I guess. And y'all get mad at me, but this is a microcosm of the systemic oppression in boxing. How we just fall in line, like the Zone says he's the face of boxing. So PBC wants to offer him $25 million. Huh? I'm confused. So if you're offering him $25 million, why is Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence not being compensated like that? Why didn't Showtime offer them a deal? You understand? So that's what I've been getting at. We are emotionally attached to the characters and not the story and not the movie, and that's fair too, because I was once that as well. I'm just saying, if you're going to give Canelo $365 million, where's Errol Spence? If Al Heyman is going to offer Canelo 3 fights, $75 million, I heard from Blue Blood and 78 Sports, where's that money for Errol Spence? Where's that money for Wilder? So that's all I'm saying. And I think it's time that we start saying that. Start saying nope. When someone say nope, Wilder and Errol Spence are the face of boxing. The numbers support it. And then we'll start getting compensation throughout the sport of boxing. It's going to take a generation. But as long as the fans know the truth, as long as y'all know the truth, everyone in the chat that's talking, as long as y'all know the truth, y'all can say, nope. Here's the article. Look, read this. When you go to the barbershop, when you at a fight party, because people say it so blindly. I'm not discrediting Canelo at all. I just want the truth to be said. The fact that Floyd Mayweather didn't hand his craft off to somebody is disgusting, right? Is flat out is I think is selfish of him.
Despicable.
And it's despicable. It's despicable to let Canelo run around here like this when you got Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence, and Tank Davis just ready. All you had to do was literally hand it off. And he didn't do it. And now Canelo's just running around here getting $20 million a fight. And this fight ain't even grossing $20 million. He can say, give me $20 million or I'm walking. And y'all get scared that he's walking. He's not worth it. And he has a fight next week or 2 weeks. Now he's getting $15 million. Because we accept it. Because your favorite fighter is going to say Canelo is the pound for pound best fighter in the world. Your favorite fighter is going to say that. Yeah. Your favorite black fighter. Go ahead.
No, I said, stop that, EJ.
Yeah. Your favorite black fighter is going to say, Canelo's the face of boxing. No. The numbers don't support that.
Right. And they've been fed that too. But now you also have to, every time we get these dudes on here, when you get Gary Russell Jr., when you get Stephen Fulton, like when you get these dudes on here, you have to tell them that too. You have to go over those numbers. You have to go over those numbers with them. I mean, it's easy for us to just to say it, and then guys go, well, I don't really know. But, they can't be on that goofy shit when you support it with numbers.
Yeah, and that's the whole catch. Support it with the actual numbers that they abide by. They're not gonna listen to me, but right. That shit is in boxing scene. Oh my, it's the Bible. How long have I been on this soapbox explaining to y'all that he would have put the Zone out of business? Would have, man. Oh man.
Yeah. So he is definitely not the face of boxing, And maybe there was a time where he was, maybe,
yes,
I think
maybe
3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago,
sure,
that was probably his time. But yeah, absolutely, like in the last 2 years, that has not been.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Charles Barkley was the best forward in the NBA for some time.
Yeah.
And then it became Karl Malone, and then after that, it became Mr. Fundamentals.
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan, right?
Sure.
And Kevin Garnett, and they went back and forth, right? So I mean, we can't just continue to say Charles Barkley is the best. No, because that's not the case anymore.
Right.
That's old news.
Right.
Canelo is not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if he was the face of boxing as much as he was just the money guy.
The money guy. He was for some point. He was.
Right.
He was. He was the money guy. I mean, I don't know when, but I'm sure it was 1 or 2 fights where he was like, okay, it was nobody after Floyd. Boxing was in transition, and he was probably the most recognizable name. I'm talking about in terms of boxing, everybody included in boxing. It was probably Canelo, and then people realized he wasn't knocking nobody out. He wasn't, and niggas still falling for it, man. That's what annoys me when people say, "Oh, Canelo is the face of boxing." They say it so like nonchalant, like Christopher Columbus discovered America. What are you talking about? Christopher Columbus? Your great grandfather was here already, nigga. What are you talking about? So anyhow, man. So
I think right now, I'm not even sure if it's Errol or if it's Deontay Wilder. I don't even think they are the faces of boxing right now. It's got to be Ugas after yesterday.
Ugas, man. Hey, I so want to bring Bob Arum on, but I just want things to settle a bit. You know what I mean? I want things to settle in, man. I'd rather eat the leftovers with this, man, because I'm going to try and get him on February 15th. He done had enough Valentine's Days in his life and it's President's Day. So maybe we'll get him on February 15th. And we'll go from there. Because we got, that's a busy week too. I got like 8 shows that week. So, but we'll rock it out.
PJ Big Dog said, "Old media ingrained Canelo's into everybody's head."
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
And it's 2020, and they think I'm extreme though. See, there's a segment of fighters that think I'm extreme, and the irony about it is, everything that we do in here, they financially benefit the most from it. No matter what happens in boxing, guess what? We got to pay for it. Whether it's pay-per-view, whether it's the bag of chips, whether it's the ticket, nothing in boxing comes free for us. They get financially compensated for every barrier that we break. I'm talking about the black athletes in particular. They get financially compensated, and they think I'm extreme. Oh, Fred, you can't do it. Man, you know how many people done told me, "Oh, Fred, man, I can't do that." And I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Nah, I can't do it. I got DMs right now. "Oh, Fred, I can't do it. You don't like white people." And I'm like, huh? Yeah. So I just leave it alone. So I just Steve Willis is the face of boxing. That's funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Call in. I want to hear these dudes. I'm gonna fall back and let these dudes call in.
All right, appreciate it.
Eli Zachary, Big Tank, Reggie, y'all call in.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Oh man.
No yawning.
Okay. hey, I appreciate you. Hey, yeah, Ugas, man. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen with Ugas, man. Now let me hang him up. Feel free to call in, man. Some good things happened today. Errol Spence was proved that he's a superstar in boxing. Errol Spence got to start expanding his brand, though. You know what I mean? Expand his brand. Maybe got to do interviews, maybe 1 interview a week or something, or you know what I mean? Because he already got Dallas on lock. He got to start expanding to these other markets. And that's our job too. If you love Earl, help him. I mean, repost him, share him, tell a story about him. Sean, hey, y'all better give me my motherfucking flowers, dog. I told y'all the first week of quarantine, and I'm going to quote myself because I said it about 200 times. Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter would have been the fight of COVID. If they would have fought instead of that guy, Kell Brook, it would have saved COVID. We would still be talking about that fight. I could still post a video about that fight and it would get thousands of views. That fight would have been that good. That fight would have been that strong, that entertaining. But guess what? they pretended like I didn't. One, they pretend like Fred don't know what he's talking about. Fred don't know shit. Fred is a hater. I wasn't hating. And two, they pretended they were best friends. How the fuck you pretend you're best friends, and then today it's all over social media and stuff like that. That Sean Porter tells his dad, Kenny Porter, to make the fight. But now you're in a compromised position. Now you should have did it in a position of power. Now you got to take the $1 million. I mean, it's nothing you can do to move Bob Arum. There's nothing you can do to convince Bob Arum that you deserve $3 million for that fight now. Because now, one, you're begging for it. Two, Al Heyman doesn't have you on the calendar. And three, if you don't take it, Jamal James will. If Jamal James don't take it, Keith Thurman will. So at the end of the day, y'all gotta, I told y'all, it's going to be a lot of fighters in the unemployment line. And I don't mean unemployment line like this. They're not getting checks. It's a lot of fighters in this position. And that's the most disgusting thing about this, you know, but I'm not going to harp on people who claim that they multimillionaires. Like they're going to brag about being millionaires. I can't defend ignorance, you know, but you should have been advocating for this fight in March. As soon as COVID hit, nigga said, we best friends. You best friends, nigga. What are you talking about? Y'all play basketball for free, but won't fight for a couple of million? And now Bob Arum is like sitting here chilling. And y'all got mad at me in the chat and said I was hating on Al Heyman. I'm not hating on Al Heyman. The money just ain't there. Sean Porter said, I told my dad to go make the fight. You told your dad? Think about that for a second. When has a PBC fighter said, I'm going to tell my dad to go make the fight? How many dads do we have in PBC? You've never heard that from Danny Garcia. You've never even heard it from Earl. You've never heard it from, come on, some big time fathers we have on PBC side. Y'all get, well, that's enough. You've never heard them say, talk to my dad. You've never heard it. Dad, go make that fight. You've never heard that in the history of PBC. That's the first time in the history of PBC that you have heard a fighter say, Angel Garcia, go make that fight for me. Errol Spence Sr., go make that fight for me. You've never heard that ever. You understand? I know his dad is his manager, and so is Angel. So is Angel Garcia. You understand? So all I'm saying is that doesn't happen on the PBC side. We just had a fucking 2-hour live about Talk to Al. We just had this conversation. So at the end of the day, you're in a compromised position. Not unless Al Heyman goes public and say he's trying to make Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter. If Al Heyman goes public some way, somehow, you know how they do. They'll give the information to Mike Coppinger, and Mike Coppinger say, my sources say. So maybe because at the end of the day, maybe they try and make Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman and put that on Fox. Maybe that will revitalize interest, you know, because they got to start drumming up some interest. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe, yeah, you never heard Jose. Yeah, Jose, you know, y'all know the routine. So, and at the end of the day, it's like, I see these PBC fighters, Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, as getting mad at their neighbors house for feeding them what they want when their parents didn't leave dinner for them. Why are you mad at the neighbors for serving you what they got in their refrigerator? You should be mad at your parents for not serving you dinner. And at the end of the day, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and Jamal, we keep on leaving Jamal James out. We got to stop leaving Jamal James out. He's a hell of a fighter. I know he just fought in August, right? He's probably only going to get one fight this year. They got to start looking at the PBC. Why don't I have a fight date? Why am I only fighting once a year? You know, Broner's on. Yeah, Garcia. Leo Santa Cruz is not gonna fight again this year. That nigga's so rich. You know what I mean? He's so rich. He's not even thinking about fighting. You know what I mean? That whole I want a rematch is so phony. He got to say it. You know, I want a rematch. Nigga, you got knocked out in the 6th round. You know what I mean? It ain't happening. So at the end of the day, you got to start looking in your house. And I'm not saying I hear they get paid handsomely. I appreciate you calling in.
My nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. This is a real nigga celebration.
816, what's up? 816. Uh-oh.
What?
You got a bad connect. Yeah, we got a bad connect. So I think they got to start looking in-house. They got to start. The only Jamal we acknowledge is Charlo. Yeah, I just think they got to start looking in-house, you know, and it may be in their contract that they can't speak out against it. I don't know how, don't know way, but I'm just talking strictly business, okay? Bob Arum has been the problem for 40 years. That's been acknowledged, but he's not changing. 202.
So, all you scared to death Negroes.
202, what's up?
What's up, Fred? You know what it is. What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? What you got?
Man, hey, Fred, you on fire today. You in champ side. Yeah, man. Earl, he's no longer the truth. His new nickname is Earl, the true face of boxing. Spence Jr. Let's change his name. He need to get some merch out to put the true face of boxing. I'm tired of them not putting no respect on Errol Spence's name. This dude has fought some killers, some champs after champs.
I'm with that.
Put that man on the pound for pound top number one. Number one. Let's get him on there. Number one. Not number two, not number three, not number four, not number five. Let's get him up on there. Let's be honest. Most of these boxing divisions that these other so-called pound-for-pound fighters have, they don't have no Danny Garcia. They don't have no Sean Porter. They didn't have a Kell Brook. They didn't have those guys. Put some motherfucking respect on that man's name. They don't have a Yordenis Ugas. They don't have those guys. Look, the Clenelo fans, man, they real angry, man. You got they pissed off, man, after seeing that. They keep making excuses and say, "Oh, 4 weeks." Clenelo on that 4 weeks. 4 weeks. No, motherfucker. No one is talking about Clenelo like that anymore. No one. No one's talking about Clenelo anymore like they used to. They not.
Right.
He's fighting an English McMuffin and now his sparring partner from Turkey.
Isn't that crazy?
A fucking breakfast brawl. English McMuffin and Turkey.
Yes.
Like Nick, like what? Look, let's move on. We don't want to keep talking about this Clenelo cat, man, because we putting shine on him. Let's talk about the next fight. Spence versus Ugas. That is a great matchup. And I like that fight. I know people will be talking shit like that's not a good fight. No, that's a real good fight. We all know that Ugas beat Sean Porter. It was a clean victory. He even got a knockdown that wasn't even called on him. It was a clean victory. The crowd booed Sean Porter. They said Ugas is the real champ. He should be a 2-time champion right now. 2-time champion. 2-time. Crawford, look, Terrence Crawford. Sean Porter wants to smoke. He's putting the pressure on you. Where you at, man? Where you at? That is the best fight for you. Where are you at? Bomac, if you're listening, make that fight happen, man. You're doing a Bud a real disservice. You see Spence, his numbers is getting bigger. Spence versus Ugas, the next fight. Who you gonna fight? You gonna fight Timothy Bradley? They gonna bring Timothy Bradley out of retirement to fight you? Crawford versus Bradley? Come on, man. Look, Bomac, you need to sit your ass down. You're not doing nothing for Crawford. Crawford, if you're listening, buy out your contract, man. Buy out your contract. Go to PBC. That's where the money is at. That's where the fights is at. Bob disrespected you. He pimp slapped you in front of everybody and told you to shut your mouth. And you quiet. He's not willing to pay your boy Sean Porter. That's your boy. That's your friend. That's your best friend. Why are you not saying that? Why are you not having his back? What is you doing? That's supposed to be a. Why are you not stepping up to the plate and saying, "Hey, I'll give my money up to my purse to Sean Porter to make that fight happen"? Why are you not doing that? I thought that's supposed to be your friend, man. Look, we tired of the excuses. Spence is number one. He said take the 60-40, and guess what? If he gets this belt and knocks Ugas out, it's 70-30, maybe 80-20. You got to take it. The pressure is on you. Even your own fans are saying take the 40. What is you doing? You're not 50-50. You're not 50-50. You're not. Take the 40 or fight Sean Porter. And we done talking about this guy. Terrence Crawford is about to be off my pound for pound list. He's not about to be on my top 10. I'm serious. He's at number 8. He was number what? 1, 2, 3. Now he's at 8. If Jamal Charlo go up and beat David Benavidez' ass, like I'm predicting that. Y'all heard it first. If Jamal Charlo goes up to 68, he's going to beat David Benavidez' ass. Outbox him. I'm telling y'all. He's going to outbox him. Crawford, you're going to be off the list, man. You're going to be at number 12 or something. And that's all I got to say. I'm done talking about it.
Enough said. Yep, it's going to be... I just hope they don't put Ugas on pay-per-view, man. I just hope turn Earl into a bigger star. You know what I mean? I just hope. You know what I mean? Hopefully that 972.
Welcome to the show.
What's up, 972?
What up, Fred? How you doing this evening?
How you feel, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
First time caller?
Man, this motherfucking KDD Porter, nigga.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? It's been a minute.
I'm doing.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been it's been a minute. I'm always listening. My chat room named Dog Money. I've been there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna tell you that first thing as a Dallas resident, that old dude you interviewed, that is not the same guy that was in the Cowboys locker room. Everson Walls was a man's man, extremely militant. Some people didn't like him. The media didn't like him. He was confrontational. He wasn't going to give them an inch of nothing they said.
Wow.
Serious. And a physical specimen, a beast. I mean, they trust me. If you go back and look at some of the old video on him, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's the reason why he was a union rep. Everson didn't play, man. He didn't let them people handle him no any kind of way neither. And that's what I was going to say about that. As far as I'm happy about the Ugas Spence fight. It's a good fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. And above anything else, I mean, it's one of the best fights out there for Earl, other than Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter or maybe Clenelo, you know what I mean? But I think Ugas going to be a good fight. And also, I want to ask you a question,
Please.
Fred.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want you to answer this for me. And I'm gonna hush up and listen. Why come? Let's speaking on the Bud and Errol Spence situation. Why is it every time Earl and them speak about Bud, they speak respectfully? Oh, Bud is a good fighter, you know, this and that. Nothing negative toward him. But every time you hear Bud or Bomac or Bud's sister, anybody come from the camp, or Bernie, any of, you know, it's always venom and vitriol and like it's just serious hate coming towards Earl. Why is that?
They drink water from the same well. You know what I mean? That's their environment. That's who they are, you know. That's their makeup, you know. That's the energy that they exude. That's just who they are.
That's who they are, man. But you noticed that, right?
Yeah, I just noticed it now that you said it. I never put that on them. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask Derrick James about him, you know, Derrick James never nothing Earl, nothing. They never say anything bad about the team, about those guys.
Mhm.
Even though I'm pretty sure they have plenty of things to say. Even you can get in contact with Earl's side anytime. It ain't hard to do. It ain't hard to conversate or get a message back and forth to find out what's really going on. But Bud totally opposite. I mean, it just doesn't even. I don't get this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, I was just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
No, that
But,
and I'll always remember what Bomac said about Earl. You know what I mean? About him being drunk and all that shit. I'll never forget that. That was disgusting. That was just flat out disgusting, man, because it's just things you just don't do, man. It's I mean, I would never go that far and talk about them personally as an individual. Like, I only talk about boxing. I've never called Terrence Crawford out anything other than his boxing. I don't talk about him as a man and a father, a husband, none of that stuff, just strictly as a boxer, and I thought that Bomac, but it's the education levels though too. It's the character of a man. It's the integrity of a man. It's the intelligence, knowing climate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's strange because at the end of the day, they co-workers. Win, lose, or draw, they're gonna get paid very well.
Right.
I mean, I don't get the point. I mean, at some point, I look at it kind of like how Donald Trump did with this election. You lost, man. You sitting up here whining, you crying, and man, stand up like a man, shake the man's hand, and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got to be all the extra, hatred involved in it. And really, it turns you sour when you want to do business with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's gonna be like that before we even get in the ring, So anyway, I'm gonna hang up and let y'all.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you calling. Thank you. Yeah, just the energy that I had when I heard that. He said a drunk ain't shit. Like his whole family is clean. Like my whole family is clean, and it's never been proven. He never was convicted of a crime. So what the fuck? I mean, you can say what you want. Shit, nigga innocent. Because if he was white, y'all wouldn't do that shit. You know what I mean? What's up, 215? I want to finish talking about it. What's up, 215?
Hey, man, I just got two questions for you, man. I'm a new person watching.
Okay, one second. I got to welcome you to the show, man.
Welcome to the show!
All you.
Hey, man, thanks for the entrance, man. But my two questions is, I heard you said that the PBC for the Terrence Crawford and Porter fight, that the PBC didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, why would you think that? Like, Terrence Crawford's on the other side. Like, so the PBC, they got the money for the fight, but it's like they got to cross the road. Terrence top ranked. The business there is not. They got to handle the other business on their side. Don't you think?
Yeah, because I followed the boxing breadcrumbs. 2 years ago, you would have never ever heard in a million years Keith Thurman saying he wants to fight Terrence Crawford. He was too small. He's not a welterweight. Sean Porter never mentioned his name, and now in 2020 and 2021, now they're pressuring Bob Arum for that fight. So that leads you to believe, just me having common sense, that Al Heyman is not an advocate of Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman. Because why would you give permission? And Kenny Porter said this in a Blue Blood interview. Al Heyman gave me permission to go talk to Bob Arum. So that's like maybe he's washing his hands. Blue Blood did that interview in Vegas. I remember it. And it's not adding up. You know what I mean? It's not adding up. Yes.
So you don't think the Ugas and Spence fight is pay-per-view?
If I'm Spence, I wouldn't want that fight on pay-per-view.
You wouldn't want it? Why not?
No, because I want 4 million people watching me.
You don't think 4 million people going to watch that fight?
Hell no. You put a $75 tag on that? Hell no.
All right, so who will he fight next if he can't get the Crawford?
Who gives a fuck? Something to fall in the lap. Just beat Ugas. Just beat Ugas.
But you know his plan is to be unified champion.
Yeah. So I mean, Crawford don't have an opponent. Crawford don't have an opponent.
Ugas got the belt. He don't have an opponent, right?
Yeah, I answered that. He go fight Ugas.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, wow, that's a pay-per-view fight, I believe.
And that's fair. If you think it is, that's cool. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to give you reasons why it's not.
Okay, thank you. And as far as the Crawford thing, do you think that will happen? When do you think that
it has no choice? Happen? It has no choice to happen. But now he's now he's gonna get it under the pretense of now he's gonna be compromised. Once Errol beat Ugas, he's gonna be extremely compromised.
All right, last question. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Errol Spence and Keith Thurman fight will ever happen?
Maybe it'll be no reason to make that fight if he gets Ugas.
Like my friend, he the one put me on your channel. His name Chopper, and I told him I think that fight would never happen. No more.
It's no need. It's no need. If he gets Ugas, you just put the pressure. It's gonna be too much pressure on Crawford.
It'd be going. Yeah,
too much pressure. I don't see that fight. Now he's really a coward. Now nothing he say is making sense because he's guilty by his own admission. He said belts matter. Earl got 3, you got 1.
Right. Who would you pick out of Earl and Terrence Crawford?
Me.
You said you?
Yeah, I'll beat both of them.
Thanks for answering my call, man.
I appreciate you. All right, well,
thank you, man.
All right, peace. Whatever happened to him? I don't know, Kelly. Every time I see a 702 number, I'll be like, man, maybe that's him. You know what I mean? But man, he probably in jail somewhere. You know, I'm probably working out in jail, doing push-ups and pull-ups somewhere in somebody's penitentiary. Where you at, Super Cool? Where you at, man? What's up, Terrence?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what you got?
Hey, look, man, I just want to come on, man, and say I wasn't really listening to the rest of the show because I was looking over the show that I did to just like proof viewing. I want to thank everybody from the barbershop that came in to support the show. I saw you in the chat. I appreciate you, brother. The show was a success for for a new show. The lieutenant governor came in. It was a good show.
That's a great guest to have, lieutenant governor.
Yeah, and I saw you in there, man, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna support you.
I'm pleased with the show, and I just came in, man. To tell everybody, man, I appreciate you. And if I don't get to you in the chat, I just want you to know, like if I got somebody on like the lieutenant governor, you got to tread lightly. He's a friend of the family, and then you got people watching. You got the state police, you got you got agencies watching, So I'm not trying to put anybody in a situation to get themselves in trouble, and I'm not trying to get in no trouble, and I'm not trying to get in no trouble with my elders, but I'm like that because he's a family friend and all that stuff, So, if I don't, and in some cases, if I don't, I'll put you like this. I'm not that proficient in this yet. So, So if I get indulged in the conversation during the show, and I'm not neglecting the chat, but I'm going to do the best I can. And once I get more proficient in this, then I'll be as good as Fred. Or close to it.
Good luck with that.
Close to it.
Good luck with that.
Hey, everybody strives to get to that bar. Fred's that bar. You know what I mean? You want to get to that bar. You know what I mean? Fred's that, you know what I'm saying, Fred's that bar. You know what I'm saying? Fred's changing the, you know what I'm saying, the interview structure when it comes to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Ellie Setback want to be Fred.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fred's the new reporting. So that's all I got, bro. I just want to come on and say thank you.
And what's the name of your channel? You gonna put it in the chat right now?
On the mic with Terrence Bailey Sr., man. Hey, look, tomorrow night, man, I got the music producer for Joe Biden's inauguration, Jonathan Moloch, the guy that who brought on John Legend and J-Lo. I don't know why he did that. We're gonna find out tomorrow. But we're gonna find that out. We're gonna find that out tomorrow. But he's the producer for the music for the Biden administration inauguration. I did tell Patty that that's a good guest for you guys to have because it's a bigger platform and it's the barbershop. So y'all gonna do more to him than I am. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a local boy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give him the local, you know what I'm saying, the local dude treatment, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, we're from the same place. So he gonna get the hometown treatment with me, but with y'all, he gonna get the barbershop treatment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, he definitely gotta come through on the barbershop. So I'm gonna ask him if it's okay to share the phone number with Patty. And if he says okay, then it's on. And my cousin Kevin said that he did hear. Well, I already knew before he said it, but he said it on the show tonight that he talked to Patty and he did confirm, which I already knew. I didn't tell him I already knew. So tell him to take his glasses off because when you see him without his glasses on, you'll be like, "Damn, he looked just like him." You know what I'm saying? You're like, "Damn it, yo, Frederick ain't dead. He right there on the barbershop."
Right.
Because he looked just like Uncle Fred, man. I'm telling you, he looked just like Uncle Fred, just with a skinny face. He looked just like Uncle Fred. And he was a recruiter in the Army. Now, if you know Frederick Douglass's history, he was a recruiter for who? The 54th Massachusetts. Kevin Green was a E7 in the Army, and he was a recruiter. So y'all have fun with that. Because he got some jewels, man. Carter G. Woodson used to come by his mama's house. And if you know who Carter G. Woodson was, he was the man who started Black History Month. So he's got a lot of jewels to drop. That's big cuz. Sorry, man. Thanks, man. Love y'all.
Oh, love you too, man. Thank you. Thank you,
man.
TP. All the time. Yep.
Peace.
Yep. Appreciate you, TB. On the mic with Terrence Bailey. On the mic with Terrence Bailey, Mike. Hey, 904. 904. 904.
My nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. It's a real nigga celebration.
904. What's up?
What up, man? Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
When is Errol Spence IBF mandatory?
I can't answer that.
Okay. So in my mind, since I'm all about Keith Thurman one time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want him to get up in there and fight Errol Spence. But people, we need to understand, Bud and Spence is not going to happen. It's not going to happen until Bud is out of his top rate contract. If I'm Al Heyman, I'm just going to wait. Let him get out of his contract, and then I get all the money of that instead of bringing Bob in and having to give him a cut. In the meantime, if the fight with Ugas does not happen with Errol Spence, because Ugas, that man looking like he looking like he the A-side. Like he looking like he want that fight in Cuba, you know what I'm saying? And you want Cuban food, served in that thing. That's what I'm saying. But Keith Thurman somehow, some way could sneak in there and become the IBF mandatory. I think it's a top-ranked guy that's the mandatory right now or whatever. But if Keith Thurman, who needs a tune-up, can beat that dude and become the IBF mandatory, then Errol ain't got no choice but to face him next. You know what I'm saying? That's how Keith Thurman can get back in there because, that Bud Spence fight ain't happening like next or even after Ugas.
Makes sense. Or Al does a good job with the WBC and those title eliminators. Maybe put him in a WBC title eliminator. Him and Sean. Why don't him and Sean fight a title eliminator? Him and Jamal James, huh?
Remember the first time they fought? That was a hard fight. I'm Keith Thurman coming off of a loss, needing another tune-up like he always does. I'm not going to fight no Sean Porter. I'm getting a tune-up, and then I'm going to try to, then I'm going after a title. I don't want to fight Sean Porter. You crazy? My elbow might, he might need elbow surgery, hand surgery. I ain't dealing with Sean Porter. I'm getting the easy dude who is the IBF mandatory to beat Luis Colazo, and that dude is trash. No disrespect, but he's easy. Easy. See what I'm saying? So Keith Thurman, go ahead, sneak up in there, get that IBF. Then we can get Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. Because, that's the biggest fight besides Bud and Spence. Let's be real. On the PBC side, that's the only thing that Errol has to. That's the only thing Errol has left to clean up on his side. I don't care if the fight if the fight didn't happen back then, we're still mad about it. I don't care about it. It's time now. Make it happen. And with that being said, I'm gone.
Appreciate you, man. First time caller, huh? Oh, well, I think it's first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
No, someone got to be the fifth wheel, man. Like Jamal James is the fifth wheel. I'm just tired of these guys recycling each other. Keith Thurman, I'm tired of. I want a fresh face, fresh name, all of that good stuff. Boots and who?
Just want your thoughts on that.
Boots and who? Boots and who?
Jessicito Lopez.
Who? Wait, Boots and who?
Jessicito.
What's up, TV?
Man, what's going on, Fred?
Hey, what you got?
Man, I'm trying to catch back up, man. I just woke back up from my little Kush coma, man, from your interview and shit.
Oh, man, don't worry about it. You good?
Yeah, I'm straight. But, yeah, last caller, man, like, bro, he must be off something, bro, because, listen, man, Keith Thurman is not getting that fight, bro. It's not going to happen, bro. That shit been sailed, bro. Let's just get 100% realistic. Like, Keith Thurman is not getting that fight, bro, unless he goes and he beats Ugas or something. Because Spence has been calling him out since the beginning of his career, and Keith didn't want no smoke. So now that the shoe's on the other foot, he ain't getting that fight. So that's all I gotta say about that. But I wanted to talk about the man, you see that 9-year-old girl get tased and shit.
I didn't watch that. I didn't want to watch it, but she was handcuffed. I read.
And that shit made me fucking sick to my stomach seeing that shit, man. I hope it's a special place in hell for them officers, man.
How many officers were there? 2?
I just remember seeing 1, honestly. But man, I hope they burn in hell. Honestly.
She was handcuffed, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Why were they there? Because I saw the subtitle and I didn't want to. I watched the video you sent me, and I saw it on my timeline, but I didn't watch. It was 3 cops. God damn, 3 cops. And why were they called to the 9-year-old's house, or was it a school or something? Where was it?
Honestly, I don't know. I just seen the video.
Not that that matters, man. You got 3 officers and a handcuffed 9-year-old. I think there's something that could be done. Something can be resolved. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Also, your video earlier, man. Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, Errol Spence, he's a star, man. He outsold Clenelo.
Yeah, he's a star. He's a star, and that's the truth. And anyone can dispute that. Just send them directly to that article. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for our back of the chat.
I appreciate you.
All
right, one. Jay Dick said if her dad ain't in jail or not on the run right now, I don't know what to say. It's that's easier said than done in America, especially when you got multiple kids. I always wondered that. Let me have a conversation with y'all. If you got more than one child, and a police retaliation, what do you do? Because what's up, Tay Jones? Because Nate Parker only had one child. She was screaming for her dad. Oh, Oh, that's why I don't like watching that shit. I ain't watched that other girl get slammed, but I read about it. I ain't watch. I just get tired of watching them videos, man. I don't watch them. So, and if I can help it, I'm not going to watch that. You can't fill up your life insurance. How you gonna fill up your life insurance? What you gonna wait 2 years? 412.
By any means necessary.
Block for me, black man.
412. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Fred? It's Big Lou, man.
What's up, Big Lou?
Again, appreciate all your hard work. You, DB, Patty, everybody, man. But couple things, man. I think you're too hard on L. Heyman, man.
Okay.
I really do. I mean, I understand your problems with Kelly Swanson.
I don't have a problem. I'm hard on Bob. I was hard on Bob for 8 years. Y'all didn't get mad. Y'all loved it.
You ain't hard on Bob all like that. Come on, man. I think you give L. Heyman more grief than you give Bob.
Yes,
I know when he's your guest.
That is no. I'm not talking about when he's a guest. I'm talking. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry. You're a guest. Go ahead.
Listen, man. I mean, you keep saying. I just don't like the slander on the brother, man. I think he's doing great stuff at PBC. Is he perfect? Hell no. Nobody is. But if you look through the last years, who's gave us the best free fights? It's been PBC. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff I wish he would do differently. A lot of things I wish he would have moved differently, like with this Wilder situation. I think they could have handled that better. I think Wilder was too nice, giving that Fury 50-50. You know, treating him with respect, letting him come out last, all this other bullshit that happened with that fight, and now he's stuck in this situation. So there's stuff that they could have done differently, but I like the way he's moving. You know, look at all the top stars, most of them PBC, Wilder, Spence, Tank Davis, all these guys, man. I mean, I think you were way too hard on the brother for no reason. I mean, for no reason, man. I think he's doing what he needs to do. I think he's moving these guys in the right way. But at the end of the day, it's a business, Fred. You know, it's a business. He's up against a crooked-ass Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn. All of them tried to sue him, and he's still standing. So you know, he's up against a whole lot of shit. And I don't think we should keep giving him all this hate that he's getting, man. That really bothers me. You know, not just you, you know, old media gives him that. I don't think we should pile on. Yeah, there's shit he could be doing better. But sometimes, Fred, I think you go too deep on him, man. You know what I mean? You do great work, but I just think your issues with Kelly Swanson is clouding your vision about what L. Heyman is doing, man. L. Heyman, I mean, what he did for Floyd, what he's doing for all these boxers. He's changed the game. You know what I'm saying? Promoters were just destroying these guys. I listen to all these older boxers come on, you know, Drew Titan show and all these other shows, and the way that the promoters have just dicked them over. They're sitting there suing for $25 million here. All the stories that we hear, we don't hear about that at PBC. He treats those guys good. Maybe we don't get all the big fights immediate like we want, but we eventually get them. And he puts a lot of stuff back on free TV. I mean, I don't get it, Fred. I don't know why you're so hard on him. I mean, can you give me some of that? Because that just bothers me, man.
Okay,
I appreciate everything you do, but
okay, no, it's fine.
I don't like that part.
It's fine. You can talk. All right, let's take it back.
Mm-hmm.
When Terrence Crawford wasn't getting the fights, right? And I was crucifying Bob Arum. Did you appreciate that?
I did.
Just answer the question. Did you appreciate that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's fast forward. Is Gary Russell getting treated just like Terrence Crawford, or worse?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because
no, I don't want narratives. I let you talk. Now I just want yes or no answers. Is Gary Russell treated similarly than Terrence Crawford? I would say worse because he's not getting a check and he's not fighting. So at the end of the day, I'm telling y'all, at the end of the day, y'all gonna wake up and realize these niggas are running the same game. Hold on. Yes.
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
hold on.
Go ahead.
All right. Now you cannot compare those two. Okay, let's look at Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford, first of all, is an undefeated fighter, pound for pound #1. His promoter is out here disrespecting him every chance he gets.
I'm talking about
comparing
the
him with some
end.
damn property like a slave.
I'll let you talk.
I could have bought property in California if I didn't lose money on Crawford. You've never heard promoters, PBC, talking trash on Gary Russell. And I believe Gary Russell has had fights that he could have taken. But, for one reason or not, it didn't happen. Plus, you got to remember, Floyd does have some influence on PBC and the Russells and the Mayweathers. Supposedly they have some kind of conflict. So there's a whole nother issue there.
Okay.
But Gary's going to get his fights this year.
Okay.
Gary could have had to fight. I don't know what happened. Gary could have had to fight with Devin Haney.
Okay. So when I mentioned, am I too hard on Floyd too?
Oh, fuck Floyd.
So what's the difference? What's the difference? Like, what justifies wrong? There's levels to wrongness. Are they levels?
I'm asking. Floyd is a piece of crap.
No, I'm talking.
Black fighters. He didn't pass the championship tag to a Wilder or Errol Spence or even Keith Thurman.
Who's his manager? Who's his manager?
Floyd.
Who's his manager?
That's Floyd.
Who gets the money from?
At a certain point, Floyd's going to do what Floyd's going to do.
Who gets the money from the network?
Al Heyman is a financial guy. Somehow, Floyd Mayweather still finds a way to owe the IRS money.
It doesn't.
So apparently, Floyd don't listen to Al Heyman.
Y'all are overthinking it. Y'all are overthinking it because at the end of the day, when I went in on Eddie Hearn, y'all loved it. Oh, it was amazing. Fred, you went nose to nose with Eddie Hearn. Ha ha.
Man, that was classic. That's one of my favorites of all time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Because you were head to head, face to head.
Okay,
Have you had conversations with Al Heyman you had that one-on-one with Eddie Hearn?
Let me talk.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Now, if I'm approaching Eddie Hearn with the same venom, with the same energy, the same tone, I don't change my tone. If you are a guest, if just like you, I will shut up and be respectful. When Reggie Owens called in, I shut my trap and I be respectful. There is no difference between how I treat you on this show and how I treat Bob Arum, whoever else I've disagreed on this show. I shut my mouth and I listen, no matter if I agree with you or disagree with you. When I went to Texas on my own dime and attacked with the same aggression, y'all loved it.
Yes, we did.
When for 9 years, I attacked Bob Arum with the same aggression, y'all saluted it. Y'all supported it. Y'all loved it. Okay? When I go with Floyd Mayweather with the same energy, y'all love it. Y'all support it. When I go with Terrence Crawford with the same energy, y'all love it. Y'all support it. When I go with Al Heyman, I'm being a hater. How am I being a hater? When I go with Andre Ward on my own dime, same energy. Y'all loved it.
Listen, man. Let me say this, man. Fred, first of all, I got nothing but love. I'm love for you and
it's
the show.
okay.
My point is, Al Heyman can't make these guys fight. Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn says he signs the damn contracts for these guys. Oh no, AJ can't sign. I sign his contracts. I don't care if he spoke to Wilder and he saw the $50 million. I'll decide if he fights. Al Heyman doesn't do that to fighters. He'll give them his options, and from what I hear, because he doesn't speak, he'll give them the options, and then they pick the best situation. He'll let them know financially this is how it's going to work here and there. You don't have that same venom coming from a Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum. Those guys have screwed people. Listen, we can give you concrete examples of everybody they screwed. Bob Arum, we don't have to talk about that. Oscar De La Hoya was screwing his biggest fighter, Canelo Alvarez, so bad that he had to leave and then sign an independent contract without him. Already Ryan Garcia, now his biggest story, was complaining about the little bit of money he was getting. Eddie Hearn, what is he doing with Boo Boo? What is he doing with Tevin Former? These dudes have a track record of disrespecting, especially our fighters. Al Heyman doesn't have that record of disrespecting our fighters in particular. I don't care, about those other ones. Oscar De La Hoya was disrespecting pretty much everybody on PBC now. They had to get away. And now they're all bigger because they got away from him. He was so busy cross-dressing or doing whatever he was doing. He was just destroying their careers and only worrying about his Mexican fighters. Al Heyman gave all these guys a lifeboat, saved them, changed their careers. He got people, Mexicans, naming their kids after him. So this man is doing groundbreaking stuff, and we cannot keep coming after him, man. The white media does that enough. We cannot continue to do that, bruh. I mean, yes, there's some things he could do better. I agree with that. But I'm not going to go out here, hitting him with the same venom that I'm going to hit with Bob Arum and Oscar and Eddie Hearn. Those guys have a track record of screwing fighters, especially black fighters. Al Heyman does not. Gary Russell, I don't know what's going on with his career, but, he wants fights. He fights once a year. I don't know if that's him or what's going on. But, most fighters at PBC only fight 1 or 2 times a year. So he's no different. Al Heyman has a lot of fighters, a lot of rosters, a lot of networks. He's doing a lot of great things, man. And I've never heard somebody leave him and be disrespectful. And most of the guys who leave him, they make a bad choice. Look at F.A. Ajagbe. He went over the top rank. What is going on with his career? He looked horrible at his last fight. Left his trainer,
well, how he fights has nothing to do with his business.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, where's his career going? He had he had a career path at PBC. They could have moved him up. Wilder's getting older. He's going to retire. They have a number of heavyweights. They don't have hardly no heavyweights over at Top Rank. Him, Fury. Who else they got? That was a horrible move. I don't know what Jay Prince is doing, bringing all these brothers to Bob Arum so they can continue to get screwed. I don't get it. Bob Arum, I know he's a great guest. I like having him on, but he's a piece of crap, and you know it. Oscar's a piece of crap, and you know it. What he's we know it. Eddie Hearn is a liar. He's a piece of crap. All we know about Al Heyman is he's given us great free fights. He saved all these black fighters. All of them are doing better. He teaches them how to go real estate and everything else. He sets them up. So I will never disgrace him because any black man that's doing that, helping his community like he's doing, he deserves our praise. And yes, there's things he could do better, but we got to stop slandering him like this old media. We had old media slandering him when he first started the PBC, talking mad stuff on him. You remember that, Fred? You was there. But we can't give him that same energy. That's all I'm saying, Fred. That's my thing. But I understand your situation with Kelly Swanson.
It's not about that. It's not about Kelly. It's not. No. You know what? I'm not. That's the problem. I am not clouded. I am not clouded at all. I don't give a fuck about none of them. None of them. If they come in this barbershop, I'm going to be respectful. I don't give a fuck about none. That's the whole key about this. I don't give a shit about none of them. They don't give a shit about you either.
Listen, I know they don't give a shit about me, but they are giving me the best free fights out of any of these other networks. Everything else I got to pay for.
Okay, tell me a free fight. Tell me a good free fight. Tell me 5 good free fights in the last 365 days. No, just tell me.
Come on. 2020 was a pandemic year. Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Boxing was shut down most of the year. So we
not
can't
most
even
of the
we
year.
can go the year before.
Not most of the
we
year.
had Hurd, J-Rock. That was a great fight.
Hurd,
we had
that was 2019.
Rosario and J-Rock. That was another great fight.
That was 2020.
Was that 2020? Mm-hmm. Okay, before that. But I'm just saying we could go, tit for tat and see all these great fights. We got to see Errol Spence, the pay-per-view star, against Ocampo. That wasn't a great fight, but we got to see him. Because he was on that fight, had a great knockout with a body shot. Boom, we got to see him. Tank Davis on Showtime. We got to see him numerous times. The Charlos, before they went pay-per-view, we got to see them on free TV. We got Charlo and Harrison twice. Come on, Fred.
Yeah.
This man is bringing great fights to us for free on Fox, FS1, Showtime.
Okay.
I'm just,
you'll
Fred,
thank me
I
later.
appreciate everything you're doing, but I just had to get that out, man.
Y'all will thank me later.
I think you're going too hard.
Well, get used to it.
Go to this
get used to it. Get used to it. Same way I went at Eddie Hearn, y'all loved it. Same way. But Eddie Hearn, Eddie Hearn over.
Go to this shit, man. He's doing things.
Well, get used to it. I disagree.
King used to screw fights, but we used to get the great fights. Al Heyman has given us great fights, and the fighters are not getting screwed like they were with Don King and Bob Arum. So give him his credit. Come on, man. Quit hating on that man. He is doing great work. Come on. That's all I'm saying, Fred. I love you. I love your show, but I hate when you start going in on Al Heyman. He's the truth. Let him be great, and let's just keep supporting that brother, man. But that's all I got, Fred. Thanks for letting me get that off. I hope you stop going after
How many
the
times you
GOAT,
gonna say it?
the
You just
greatest
said it.
of all time, Al Heyman.
You just said it.
Come on, bro.
You just said
he's
it.
He's the greatest.
Okay, he's the greatest. Okay. And after when you hang up, I'll elaborate.
Love you, Fred.
Because you keep on cutting me off.
Get that off, man. You the man, though.
You wouldn't let me talk, so I'll talk when you hang up. Now listen.
All right, yes,
Peace.
sir. I got you. All right, man. Thanks for letting me talk. Peace.
Yep. Peace. Now, I'm gonna disprove that. I'm gonna disprove it. Just a real simple disprove. I'm just gonna disprove it one time, and y'all need to really follow what I'm saying. If the fighters are fighting once a year, how much money are they really making? How much are they really making? If Sean Porter is begging Bob Arum for a fight, how much are they really making? How happy are they? If Keith Thurman wants to beat up Bob Arum because he offered him $1 million, how well are they doing? Let me get this off real quick. Let me respond. I want to respond. If the other side of the street don't matter, why are you mad at them? I'm just trying to make it make sense. Fighters are fighting once a year. We're not getting the fights we want. Daniel Jacobs didn't fight nobody when he was on PBC. Leo Santa Cruz is going to be worth $10 to $15 million after all this. Abner Mares skates right on through. The Charlos, they fight once a year. I'm not saying who's worse. They all in this shit together. They all in this together. And y'all gonna wake up one day and y'all gonna be like, damn, Fred was right all this time. It's all about money. If they can keep on feeding you bullshit and you drink watered down lemonade, Kool-Aid, guess what you're gonna be thinking? They told you Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz was a pay-per-view fight. And you know what y'all said? Oh, it's the pandemic. We should pay. Oh, really? We should pay? They're multimillionaires and we should pay? They fed y'all Clenelo versus a guy from the UK. They said you can buy it for $12.99 or you can buy it on pay-per-view. That's okay? Liam, whoever his name is, y'all paid the $70 for that? But it's okay. Y'all gonna wake up one day and y'all gotta be fans. Because when they over there making hundreds of millions of dollars and we over there, we can't make our bills. Then y'all gonna wake up. We didn't want the Clenelo fight. But you bought the fight. That's what I'm talking about. Dummy. They want your money. Your money, if you pay, you're compliant. You're complicit. I'm not taking it nowhere else. I'm just telling the truth. Y'all keep on accepting the bullshit. They gonna keep on feeding you bullshit. Simply put. We hold our money. We get Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but y'all got to know how much power y'all have. Y'all don't even understand how much power you have. You gonna buy a Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz fight because those multi-million-dollar guys that are working at CBS, working at Fox, don't want to take a loss. The only way we get what we want is if we take it. And guess what? At the end of the day, Al Heyman, Bob Arum, what's the other guy's name? Overseas, him, Oscar, they all in this to do what? Make as much money as possible with the least amount of risk. And y'all can believe it all you want. But the reason why they not taking losses and the reason why Ugas and Errol Spence is going to be on pay-per-view is because y'all dumbass is going to pay for it. Why don't they take a loss for the fans one time? That's all I'm saying. And it's going to be years from now before y'all get it. Y'all not going to get it now. Y'all not going to get it. And it's okay. I don't mind being a Lone Ranger. Don't mind at all. I'm going to keep on saying the same thing. And if I saw Al in person, I would tell him the same thing. They're robbing y'all. Why are you waiting 2 years for a fight that should happen in 3 months? Why are you waiting? You're so acclimated to waiting and sitting on your hands and getting pimped. Y'all like getting pimped. But you mad at your cousin for running off with $25. Y'all like the pimp process. All of them are the same. If they wasn't the same, guess what? We would have got J-Rock and Jamel Charlo. J-Rock ain't afraid of nobody. Why didn't we get J-Rock and Charlo? J-Rock would have took that fight in a heartbeat. So keep on getting pimped. When those guys at 135 never fight each other, y'all know what y'all gonna say? It's Bob Arum's fault. It's Eddie Hearn's fault. It's the whole shit. It's the whole shit. It's the whole system. In order for us to get the fights, guess who got to lose money? Al Heyman, Bob Arum. It can't just be Eddie Hearn. It don't work that way. It's cyclical. You heard what Bob Arum told Bill Haney? I'll talk to Eddie. The money is cyclical. Charles Martin, Al Heyman. You know what Al Heyman did that y'all don't want to talk about? He didn't give Deontay Wilder that second belt. Deontay Wilder should have been a unified, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. Didn't happen. You know why it didn't happen? Because he wanted that UK market. And Anthony Joshua had a 6-fight deal with Showtime. Y'all want the truth? That's the truth. He didn't value Deontay Wilder as much as he valued the UK market. And you know what else he did? He went and made a deal with another network. Do y'all want the truth or do y'all want narratives all day? Santa Claus don't buy your Christmas gifts, y'all. He don't. It's your mother and father. And Mike Weary the Great says is fighters ducking when they call out Al, or is Al not making the fights? Pick a side. I didn't say that. He did. So you got to ask him that. Ask him to pick a side. And so y'all keep on running with this narrative. The owner at Fox is not losing money. Al Heyman is not losing money. Y'all niggas are satisfied with Jamel Charlo fighting once a year, and y'all say, oh, he's getting paid well. That's Stockholm Syndrome. That's Stockholm Syndrome. That's Stockholm Syndrome. Fred, respect your grind, but the caller owns you, bro. Stop the Al Heyman hate. No, it's cool. And it's okay. I don't mind y'all not understanding me. I don't mind, because I'm not stopping. Never. Nope. I won't. Stop, won't. And I'm comfortable with it. If Deontay Wilder got 2 belts, he probably gets the Anthony Joshua fight. Think so? Y'all satisfied with this schedule? Y'all satisfied? As long as you get a fight every Saturday, you're happy. Tank Davis fights Mexicans 1 fight away from retirement every time. And y'all satisfied. And y'all satisfied with that. Y'all satisfied. Y'all happy. Leo Santa Cruz gets a rematch. Leo Santa Cruz gets a rematch with Carl Frampton. Abner Mares gets a job. Brian Kenny gets a job. Marcos Villegas gets a job. Jobs I don't want. I don't want these jobs. We got 2 years of bullshit fights on Showtime. What was the last good fight on Showtime before this one? I'll wait. Y'all saying PBC is doing a better job. That's like saying the nigga in the kitchen during slavery. What are y'all talking about? They're doing better. No, nigga. They got y'all fooled and delusional. Y'all on a free niggas platform right now. Free nigga. I'm literally free as a bird. Y'all niggas emotionally attached to the narrative. I'll wait for a great fight on Showtime. I mean, y'all tell me. I'm waiting. I'll give you 2 years. I want to see a great fight on Showtime. It hasn't been. Declining numbers. Steven Espinoza pulling out his hair. Al Heyman won't give him the talent. Al Heyman won't give Steven Espinoza the talent. You know why? Because he has to comply with Fox. You think it's by accident all the talent goes to Fox? All the talent goes to Fox. The same duress that Bob Arum is under to comply with ESPN to get that contract extended is the same pressures Al Heyman has with Fox. They're both two prosperous businessmen that understands the business and the bottom line, how to make money. I wonder how much Caleb Plant made yesterday. Wonder how much Caleb Plant made. Just curious. What did he make? $1 million, 2 between 750 and 1.2, somewhere in there, probably. We just accept shit as and then it carries over into our real life. Well, at least he didn't call you a nigga. At least the racist told you to your face. We just accept shit. We just accept it. And all across life, we just accept it. We just got Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, he made $775,000. For a Fox pay-per-view. The money's drying up, and y'all don't see it. But he can offer Clenelo $25 million a fight. And Errol Spence and Al Heyman is preview to the real numbers. The same way Bob Arum is preview to the real numbers. Eddie Hearn is, Oscar is, Al Heyman is, Bob Arum is. They got connects at the whoever Viacom or whoever else. I don't know who does the shit. It wasn't a good fight though. I'm willing to bet Caleb Truax got $100,000, $125,000. You know why? Because they won't pay for two fighters. You know, stepfathers always seem like they better than the daddy that left, right? Yeah, I know that, right? But at the end of the day, when the dust settles, it's politics as usual. We're getting the same old stories, the same old songs. Shane Mosley sound like Keith Thurman to me. Am I lying? Don't they sound the same? Sounds the same to me. So I appreciate the concerns and all that, but guess what I'm gonna do? I ain't stopping. I ain't stopping. All them niggas are crooks. All them niggas are, man, not crooks. I'm not gonna call them crooks. But if you're not getting a fight on PBC, why are you harder on Bob Arum as it relates to Terrence Crawford, but you're not hard on Al Heyman for Gary Russell? Is there a difference? I'm asking for a friend. Is there a difference in Terrence Crawford's blackness? And I'm just asking. Is there a difference? Or how about Demetrius Andrade? Demetrius Andrade is getting paid over $1 million a fight, and you fighting for him. All these fighters are mad they only fight once a year. There's no fighter in the world that's satisfied with fighting once a year. You know what they say? I had ring rust. I need to be more active. But they'll never say, oh, my promoter won't let me fight. Shakur Stevenson won't say it. I said it for him 100 times. How many Shakur Stevenson videos do I got to make? So y'all keep on believing what you want to believe. I'll go a few more calls and then we'll get out of here. And then we get DB in here. We'll get out of here. Actually, shit, DB, you want to call in now? Fuck, we way over. You still here? I'm not changing who I am and how I exactly my point. Caleb Truax, 750,000. Caleb Plant, 750. Caleb Truax, 150,000. Exactly my point. When are you going to see 750,000 versus 750,000? When are they going to take a loss to satisfy the fans? When are you going? When is that going? Y'all accept that Caleb Truax fight? He just had a Caleb Truax fight. Veganbergs, whatever his name is. Vegans, whatever. Vegan, whatever. What's up, man?
Peace, what up, Fred?
How you feel, man?
Well, I just had a few things I want to say. Fred, I don't know what's going on with you, man, in this PBC vendetta, this agenda against Al Heyman, but I think you're wrong in this instance, and I'll give you a few examples. The first example I'll give you, you talked about Deontay Wilder, Charles Martin. Al Heyman is the advisor to both. So Al Heyman chose to do what was in the best interest of his fighter, which is Charles Martin, and he had to do his due diligence by getting him his highest payday that he ever earned.
So that's a conflict of interest.
Hold on, let me finish. So by him doing that, he took him to the UK, and he was about to, he had faith that Charles Martin was going to stop the Anthony Joshua train before it started, vanquish him, the UK's done, bring him back to America, and then they have a unification fight afterwards after he made his career high payday. So Al Heyman did right by Charles Martin by doing that. You're upset because he personally, you said give Deontay Wilder the fight. Give him the unification. Give him. The thing about it, Al Heyman was trying to build something, and he was also trying, you didn't see the strategy. He did what was best for Charles Martin by getting him a career high payday. And also he was taking him to the UK to let Charles Martin be exposed to that market, conquer their biggest fighter, come back and then make another fight, and then come back and let Charles Martin make the fight with Deontay Wilder. So you wrong for saying that because Al Heyman did what was in the best interest of the fighter. The second thing you're wrong about when it comes to Al Heyman, you're wrong because Al Heyman, there was nobody else and nowhere else that was showcasing black fighters. Like he took all the black fighters from that was signed Golden Boy, all the fighters that were stragglers, all the fighters that didn't have a home. He took them and showcased them on TV. Not only that, he took a loan from a hedge fund company to do all of this, and he had all boxing hating him and trying to destroy him. And I'm gonna give you this little tidbit right here, Fred. In the 50s, in the 60s, you remember Jet Magazine, the Ebony Magazine, owned by the Johnson family in Chicago? Do you remember all those old magazines? Fred? Hello? Fred? Okay, well, those magazines, they had a pact amongst the reporters that they wouldn't talk bad in the public about black businesses and black stars and black celebrities. And if they had something to say, then they would say it kind of, but it's like you just taking a position where you have decided that PBC is not giving us 100%. No boxing ever has gave us, I think you judging him by a marriage that you shouldn't judge him by. And I think the only reason that you being hard on him is because he's black and he's an easy target and it's easy for us to go at each other. So that's the way I view that, Fred. But I think outside of the PBC, man, you've been killing it on the content, man. I don't think nobody, as far as, I know your channel analytics got to be going off the chain. But outside of Fred, I just want to say that, man, I just think that you taking a different position than we feel like you should be taking when it comes to Al Heyman. Al Heyman should be protected, not disrespected. But that's my call. Keep your foot on their neck, Fred. Peace. I'm going to get back in the chat.
All right. When I took my disposition against Oscar De La Hoya, all the Mexicans hated me. Was it right? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, rah, 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 rah. It's okay, though. We about to end this show, though. It's damn near midnight. I'm not doing a 4-hour show on a Monday, and I got 3 more days left. What's up?
What's going on, Fred?
Hey, what's up?
This is Mark. Man, don't listen to these.
I'm not stopping.
Out of line callers. Don't worry about we were out of line callers. We not getting the fights we want. Period. Real boxing fans don't get none of that Charles Martin money. Everybody's like, "Oh, Charles Martin got $8 million for that fight." Okay, motherfucker, you didn't get none of that $8 million, and you ain't get a good fight. So what are you talking about when you're talking about Charles Martin, made sense at the time, like those dumbasses in the chat. We not getting the fights we want. We used to get contenders and champions fighting each other on the regular. Back in 2008, I can just name a random year. 12 years ago, we were getting fights. 5 years ago, we were getting some fights. But right now, we're not getting anything. 2020, okay, yeah, it was a pandemic. Okay, there's no reason why in February of 2021, because that's where we're at now, that no fight should be scheduled for Cinco de Mayo, summertime right now. There's no reason why negotiations shouldn't be happening. Spence versus Ugas, yes, it's a good fight, but that's not the fight I want. I haven't been asking for Ugas. They just interjected Ugas from space. I don't know where he came from, but he just started fighting all the top fighters. Fought Porter because Porter has big balls, and now they want to put him in there with Spence because Pacquiao ain't never fighting none of them ever. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's a good fight." How about Spence and Crawford fight next? That's my call, man.
Thank you. Appreciate novice concept. That's all I say. Let the best fight the best. We gotta wait 3 years for Spence Crawford. We gotta wait 9 years, 10 years for Pacquiao, Floyd. And if Castano don't win, Jamel Charlo may not ever unify. But we're satisfied with how much our argument is. And I mean, you can't. He said Charles Martin got what he wanted, but Deontay Wilder didn't get what he wanted. So, I mean, by your own interpretation of what happened, Brandon, that's conflict of interest. So, if Charles Martin is happy, Deontay Wilder is upset, right? So I just want the best fighting the best, y'all. That's it. All I want. Y'all are satisfied with the narratives. Y'all like getting on YouTube and listening to narratives every night. Narrative after narrative. When are we gonna say, man, whew, that was a great fight? Now we got Jamal Charlo versus Benavidez. We'll see when that happens. As they said, it should be easy to make. Or we got Caleb Plant versus Jose Benavidez. We gonna make excuses for him. It's not enough money. He lost his belt. That's their problem. Our job is just to be the fans. You know what I mean? Charlo got to move up in weight. Charlo wants to go up to 168. He said it. I'll go up to 168 and knock him out in May. So y'all make decisions. Are y'all satisfied with getting one good fight every 18 months? Just think, if Wilder hadn't been the man that he is, Wilder gave us Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury in 90 days. In 90 days. And you know what? He was handsomely rewarded. And he was also respected for it. It's all of them. It's not just I'm giving them all the same. I'm not holding one more valuable than the other, because when I go on the other ones, y'all get y'all pom-poms. But when we got to pay $75 for Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis, you take that money out of your child, you take that money out of your son or daughter's mouth, you're not mad. How are you not mad? Leonard Ellaby said boxing is bigger than the fans. It's not for y'all to understand. I count every penny I make. I don't let people emotionally manipulate me out of spending money. I don't let people just convince me to wait. Be patient. Stay humble. I don't let people do that to me. So y'all keep on waiting on the big fights. Keep on waiting on the big fights. I don't care if I win. It's not about win or losing. I'm not paying. I'm not winning or losing. I'm not paying. I told y'all, I'm not paying for the bullshit. When Tank go fight this Mexican on pay-per-view, who's not a world champion, who's 35 years old, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna pay for it. And y'all gonna say, we got to support the black man. That's the same thing. It's $75, man. Y'all crazy. Hey, what's up?
Yo, what's up with it, Fred? How you feeling, dog?
Hey, what you got?
Man, a whole lot. You feel me? Okay. Hey, man, yeah, definitely. And you definitely preaching tonight. Fred is telling the people the truth. Listen to Fred, what he's saying. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. And Fred, I want to tell you a little bit about, the whole Deontay Wilder situation. And I feel like Al Heyman, he definitely failed Deontay Wilder when you really look at the big picture. No rematch. Let's talk about that. A lot of numbers. They talk about money. 120 million from the zone. Wilder decided to give a Fury a chance. Where Shelly Finkel, where is Shelly Finkel? We need some explaining. Fred is out here. He's delivering the message. We want the big fights. We want Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. We want to see Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. What's the holdup? Why not? Why not Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury Part 3? Wilder, he deserved his rematch. Why we can't get that fight, Fred? We can't even get that.
I think it was done maliciously against Deontay Wilder. Y'all think I'm crazy on this, but I don't miss deadlines. Listen, guys, Frederick Hawthorne don't miss deadlines. I got deadlines every day of my life. I don't miss. You see this calendar? It's all filled in. I don't miss deadlines. How are you going to miss a $20 million deadline? $30 million deadline? It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Y'all keep on falling into the narratives. I don't fall into the narrative. Show me the money. Show me the money. If you don't believe in a conspiracy theory as a black man, you should just go jump off a bridge. Because your ignorant ass is going to call it a conspiracy theory when it's actually true. This whole world is conspired. This whole country was created and conspired against us. We are in indentured servitude to America. Anyways, let's go. Let's talk boxing.
Definitely, Fred. And I mean, we talking about numbers. Why is Caleb Plant a main event fighter on Fox getting underpaid? He's not even getting $1 million. Caleb Plant, a champion, undefeated, 28 years old, underpaid. We talk about the zone when they overpay fighters. What about PBC underpaying Caleb Plant? Underpaying the champion, an American champion. I don't care what color he is. He can fight, and he's a champion. Absolutely. Caleb Plant, one of the best fighters in the world. He's not even getting $1 million a fight. He's one of the best in the business. And I love the PBC. I love Al Heyman. But what you're saying about Gary Russell is true. He's on the shelf. How long is he going to be on the shelf? For how long? How long are they going to blackball him? No Leo Santa Cruz fight. Absolutely. No Tank Davis fight. But yeah, Fred, we just getting started. The year just started in boxing. I'm looking forward to the big fights. What about you? What about Jake Paul versus Ben Askren? What you think about Logan Paul versus Floyd?
I don't know. I think it got canceled or postponed or something like that. As I predicted. I predicted that before it was announced. Y'all probably thought I was crazy for that.
Does Caleb Plant does he bring money to the table? Would you say that, Caleb Plant?
I would say Caleb Plant isn't. Caleb Plant is building a fan base. He sold out in Tennessee. I was there. It was raucous too. It was a good crowd. It was a very good crowd.
For sure. Hey, Fred. Okay, now David Benavidez came to the barbershop. He told you he's gonna knock out Jamal Charlo. Mm-hmm. So Jamal Charlo has some explaining to do. I heard he replied and said, I'll fight somebody. He said, I'll fight on Cinco de Mayo. I'll fight a Mexican fighter on Cinco de Mayo. Why he just didn't say David Benavidez's name? David Benavidez, he was with Ellie Setback today, talking plenty of shit about Charlo.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He's on his ass.
Build the fight. Good.
Benavidez knocks out Charlo, sparks him. Bet me. Bet anybody. Yeah, Charlo fans, don't run from Benavidez. That real Mexican style. Real talk. You feel me? Charlo, man, come on, man. Charlo, the man who ducking Andrade, been ducking Andrade for years. He the one that said talk to Al Heyman. That's what he said, Charlo. So ain't that ducking? According to Benavidez, that's ducking. Charlo said, you got to talk to my manager, talk to Al Heyman when it came to Demetrius Andrade fighting him. So Charlo is ducking Andrade. That's the language he's talking. He's ducking Benavidez. He's ducking 168 pounds. Charlo is ducking Caleb Plant. He's ducking everybody at 168. He's ducking Daniel Jacobs. Charlo is a ducker. He's a ducker. He disrespected Deontay Wilder. I need a public apology. You need to come apologize to Deontay Wilder, to the great Deontay Wilder. Point blank, period. Till this day. Real talk. For real, Fred. But I appreciate it, Fred. Much love, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, man. We'll see. I'm gonna be right in the end. I already know I am. I'm gonna be right. What fight okay. We'll answer the question with what fights do we want to see this year? Because we're fans, right? We're fans. You already called in. I'm not doing that because you know what happened? I'll be honest with y'all. I had PPD call me at 8:50 today. I've been curled up in the bed all day today. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all niggas. So I've been kind of like that. That's why y'all was like when the guest got off, I kind of went flat. I've been sick all day. So I've been trying to get it through this show. So that's probably what it is. I'm exhausted. I'm sick. And I made it through the show. This was a tough show for me physically, and I got through it. You know what I mean? I was sleep in bed to 8:50. PPD called me and said, you got a show. And I'm like, all right, let's go. I ran downstairs and did the show. So that's where I'm at with it. So come on, DB. Come on in. So I've been sick all day. No lie. My kids ain't touched me all day today. You know what I mean? What's up?
Oh, we're going to get you some balls and some orange juice.
I'm about to get something. Man, I've been sick all day, man. I've been in bed all day today. You know what I mean? All lethargic and shit. But anyways, man, I'll be glad to continue this conversation tomorrow. I'll be glad to continue this conversation. I don't mind. I don't mind being the only guy on the pedestal. I was, because guess what? Y'all loved it when I was that guy, when I was covering boxing. Y'all loved it. But now when we got to look in the mirror, y'all don't want to look in the mirror. And it's okay. I'll be the only guy.
You were out there last night when we were ending the show last night.
Go ahead.
Today, what's today's date?
February 1st.
Right. And February 1st starts what?
Black History Month, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what was my point at the end of the call last night with February?
Oh, I forgot.
You remember?
No, help me remember.
Okay. This is the month where we market us, we promote us, we advocate for us, we only push positive message for us, We turn a blind eye to all bullshit. Listen, in March, if you want to start it all over again, to have a disagreement, to have an argument, to make a different point. But right now, it's family business. That's it. So I don't want to Al Heyman, Bob Dole. What's his name?
Aram.
Bob Dole. Bob Aram. Mm-hmm. Shit. Same thing. Bob Dole, Bob Hope. They're all the same. Yeah. That's I don't even want to say that's an unfair comparison. That's just what they say, balderdash, right? That's just complete bullshit because there's no comparison. You can't compare Al to Oscar. You can't compare him to Eddie Germ. You can't compare him to Kathy Duva. You can't compare him to Frank Warren, or Eddie's father. Shit, who else? I think that's everybody that's in any sort of position.
That's the most disgusting thing ever, Jay. You said that my Malcolm or Bob Aram, make up your mind. That's disgusting. I'm neither. So you shouldn't tune into the show. Fuck it. I say don't watch the show then. Because I think that's disgusting for you to say something like that. To even put Malcolm and Bob Aram in the same sentence is disgusting. To even compare me to Malcolm is disgusting. I think that's hideous. I think that shows true ignorance. I think that's just disgusting. I really do. So don't watch the show. Shit. You know what I mean? If I'm that bad, don't watch. And I'm serious. I'm being 100. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. If I'm that disgusting to you, you shouldn't be watching.
No, come on, y'all.
No, I'm being dead ass. Like, if you're gonna be Malcolm or Bob Aram, I could never be Malcolm. I got mixed kids. How can I be Malcolm? How can I be Malcolm? Come on, man. Put it in perspective. You know what I mean? Like, no. I think it's hideous. I think it's hideous to even compare those two men. To put them two men in a sentence. How can you say that? It's just bad. So I'm not being sensitive. I don't get sensitive off of this. No, I just meet energy with the same energy. That's it. All right, go ahead, man.
So anyway, let's get back to February. So who's your Black historical figure of the day?
Me.
Yeah, but you're not historical yet. You're current.
Who?
And it can't be Malcolm.
Well, I was gonna say that if you're gonna ask me on the 21st, I was gonna answer that. That's why I didn't say that. Let's see. I don't have one. Who should I get?
No, you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. We said it yesterday. It's all love for the people. So
Fred Hampton, he got a movie coming out February 13th.
I swear to God, I knew you were going to say that. I swear to God, I was getting ready to say, just think of your name.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. And December 4th just passed not too long ago too. So yeah, good. What do you love most about the OG Fred Hampton?
He told the truth under adverse circumstances. Oh God, you know what I mean? He wouldn't compare Bob Aram. He wouldn't use Bob Aram and Malcolm in the same sentence. I just, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? You're gonna be Malcolm or Bob Aram. Choose one. That's disgusting.
Is it Frederick Douglass' birthday today?
Who?
Frederick Douglass.
The 14th.
Oh, it's on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see him said that. Damn, internet tripping. Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. It's all love, man. I think sometimes when we start going, man,
I wanted to be passionate. My stomach is just rolling. My stomach been rolling all day, and I just want to get out of here. And we can pick this up tomorrow. And I'll go at y'all with the same energy because I'm not stopping. I'm not changing. Y'all gonna thank me in 2 years. You know what I mean? It's okay. In 2 years, if y'all don't get the fights y'all want this year, what y'all gonna say? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. How about if we don't get a unification at 122? What y'all gonna say? Oh, it's okay. All right, man. Let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here.
All right, let me pull this up. Hold on. Damn. My internet tripping. Oh yeah, where we at? Where that chat? All right, here we go. We got the chat. Let's see. Joe Gagliardi in the building. D. Will in the building. I see the Winter Hill boys in the place. Mr. Vegas. Shout out to them boys in Vegas and in Texas. Absolutely. Hustler Slim. Mr. Tennessee himself in the building. PJH Big Dog, my brother. And Mike Moss, he said, Fred, peace, man. Get some rest, homie. Cletus Smith. Cletus. He said, what if we do? I'm not sure what he's talking about, but he said, what if we do? Well, there it is right there. E1K said, niggas in here playing with Malcolm name. Man, yeah, won't play with Malcolm name. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Who else we got? David the Real Thomas. He said, peace. Salute, DB. Right on, man. Mike Ray the Great said, Fred, don't get that wrong on us, brother. Yeah, man. Fred over there with the...
Man, I don't know what it is. I woke up this morning and I was like, whoa, fuck. I stayed in bed all day. I ain't touched my kids all day today. And I was like, and I was going to cancel the show today, but we had Everson, but I said, I've never canceled the show. I've never missed a show. So, and for those of you who don't know, I had the coronavirus already. I did the show when I had the coronavirus last March. I was here every day and I had it. I had it for like 8 days. So
I was there with it too.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses. You should. My greatest talent is that I will be prepared and I will show up. You know, I'm a little nigga and I can't beat nobody up, so I got to use my intellectual capital and preparation. So.
Right on. You made it, man. You made it. Yep. So appreciate it. Hey, look, this is PJH Big Dog got the fucking funniest message right here. He said, give Fred a Snickers, bro.
Oh, man.
Man. Did you get that joke?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay, yeah, because we said it about Jamel Charlo. We said it about Jamel Charlo. And no, but I like this dialogue. Y'all don't understand. I'm big on confrontation, and the same energy you can bring it with me, I bring it back at you. That's why I don't understand how the Charlos are so sensitive. Y'all, they output all that energy and they don't want it back, you know? And that's just it. That's just it. I would never use Malcolm and Bob Arum in the same sentence. I just think that was just way over that. And I thought that was disgusting. It's like saying I don't even know a compared analysis. You know what I mean? It's like you either gonna be black or you gonna be white. Just say that. Don't say Malcolm and Bob Arum. Those are. I mean, that's a man that lost his life, and this is a man that's making money off black people. Like that's not a comparative analysis. So that's all. That's all. So I will defend Malcolm until the day I die. Malcolm is the reason why I'm sitting in this chair right now. You know what I mean? So. That's all I'm saying. So I just didn't get that analysis. I don't mind people saying Fred be black or be white, because guess what? I get that my whole life. You know, when I was in the hood, the nigga said, Fred, you too white. You know, when I'm around white people, they say I'm too black. You know, so I've balanced that my whole life. So that's all. I don't mind that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. All right, cool. So yeah, I said we got D Wills. Let me see, we got that. Let's see. Soji, Asul. We got Birdman in the house. He said, interesting show tonight.
Oh, wasn't
That's
it?
for sure.
Wasn't it?
He said, yeah, and that was fire. Thanks, Birdman.
We got Lincoln Kennedy.
Harpo Marks. I never seen Harpo Marks in here before. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
David the Real Thomas, he said, after this, man, slide over to Reggie Owens.
Yeah, Reg's going live. Yeah,
absolutely.
Reggie X.
SF City Slicker. He know how this California weather is. He said, drink some emergency, Fred. Pour some haterade down the drain.
Oh man. Yeah, or Carlton. They call me Carlton too. They called me Carlton, but I fucked all the girls. So I mean, I don't know. I guess it worked. You know what I mean? Like shit. Listen, I'm not offended. Y'all don't understand. I'm not offended by what y'all throw at me. That don't offend me. You know what my biggest fear is?
What is that?
Man, I was thinking about this shit the other day. You know what my biggest fear is? Lincoln and Kennedy saying, "Hi, stepdad." I think that's my biggest fear. Like that's it. Lincoln and Kennedy having a stepfather. I think that's my biggest fear. But confronting another man, I don't fear none of that shit. Y'all in the chat, I don't fear none of that shit. And I like uncomfortable conversations. I love it. And if it takes vigor, if it takes disagreement, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I had to confront J.A. Dixon with that energy. The nigga said Malcolm or Bob Arum. I had to. The same way if you disrespect me in my house, I'm gonna pull my gun out on you. Same thing. Like it's the same thing. Like I'm not budget. Kenny Porter mushed me in the face. How did I respond? Did I fall and say, "Where's the police?" Or did I try and knock his fucking head off? I tried to knock his fucking head off. I only know one way. You meet confrontation head on. And that's how I've always been. You know, that's just me. I'm instinctive that way. It's not that serious, but nah, it wasn't a joke. It definitely wasn't a joke. Because I see all y'all comments all day. So go to Fred's house with your you ain't getting in the house. That was an analogy, but yeah, we get it. So let's
nigga Reggie.
And it was
shit.
So
there's only one Reggie Owens. God damn, Reggie a fool, man. Man, Slick T, he said niggas be too emotional. Man, you know how we be, man. This is an emotional month for us, man.
Yeah.
So shit.
And the funny thing is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not angry. I just want to get my point out. If I'm angry, y'all gonna know I'm fucking livid. I won't let you talk. I won't, man. Nah, I'm not. I just want to get my point out. I wish y'all can see what I see. And it's okay. But at next year, this time, I need y'all to write down the 5 fights y'all want this year. Write down the 5 fights y'all want this year and see if we get them. If we don't get them, I'm right. If y'all get y'all fights, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? So that's it. So tomorrow when Lincoln Kennedy's gone, we ain't got to solve this problem. We're gonna write down the 5. We're gonna agree on the 5 fights that should happen in 2021.
All right.
And if it don't happen next year, guess what? It's all the same. It's all a game. And we could do in-house fights for each network. In-house. We won't have to do no cross fights. In-house fights and see if we get them. I bet we won't get them.
All right, bet. All right. Kenneth Johnson said bet. All right, bet. You saying money in the ghetto in here too. Let me see. Barbershop Conversations. When can you have a history day in the shop? You slipped a few nuggets in the show today. Shit, that's every day though. Money in the ghetto. Shit. I don't think we need a specific show specifically for that. Shit. Once the conversation starts, man, that's just the direction of the show. Unless we got a guest in here. You know what I mean? SF City Slicker said Mel versus Castano takes share a winner. Yeah, that's to be determined, man. We'll see. You know, hopefully, man. I don't care who wins. I'm not invested in Teixeira or Castano, and I don't care who wins. I just want the guy to fight Mel, whoever it is. You know what I mean? Whether it's I don't care. Yeah, I just want to see the fights. For me, that's the main thing. I just want to see fights. Like I want to see competitive fights. I want to see the best guys fight the best guys. And I don't necessarily, I don't say always, but I don't necessarily care for the belt these days. You know, now that's kind of a contradiction, right? I said I want this guy to be undisputed, but I don't know, man. It's shit. I just want to see somebody undisputed in each division, and after that, then they can start letting these belts go and these dudes can fight each other. But I definitely want to see competitive fights. I want to see number 3 fight against number 5. I want to see number 1 fight against number 3, number 1 against number 2. I want to see the mandatory versus the interim challenge holder. I want to see the champion in recess fight against the number 2 contender. All the guys at the top, I want these dudes to fight each other and then to keep fighting each other. So, Devin and Tank should fight 3 or 4 times. Ryan and Devin should fight 3 or 4 times. Ryan and Teofimo. I mean, all these guys need to fight each other over and over again. We saw it. Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Holmes, Durant. Like, we saw these dudes do it. And they ended up having 3, 4, 5, 6 losses on their record. That was cool. But guess what? These dudes always talk about legacy. And who do we talk about when we start talking about these weight classes? We talk about them. When we talk about great rivalries and great battles, we talk about them. That's legacy. Nobody give a fuck about your 1, 2, or 3 losses. Who cares about that? You got in the ring with dudes, and ultimately that's how dudes gonna get paid. You don't get paid by sitting back saying that. I don't care if it's your manager, if it's your promoter, if it's your advisor, if it's the network. Man, listen, if you get in there and you fight 2 times because you injured or hurt, and then the next year you fighting 3 or 4 or 5 times, that's what we want. We want to see dudes active. We want to know who you are. We want to, if we know a little bit about your family, we want to know a little bit about your background. You come to the barbershop, you do interviews with our community, and we get a chance to know you. We can get behind you a little more. We might be a semi-fan, but once we know a little more about you, then we can really push for you and go, man, we got some commonalities with this fighter. I like the way he talk his shit. Like David came in and talked his shit with his father the other day. He got a lot of fans behind him, And yeah, man, just fights. Most of us are here because we love boxing. I think it's 90% of us love boxing, and it's about 10% that are here just about the bullshit, nationalism, bigotry, and just like they just shit starters. They never stepped in the ring before. They wouldn't even fight the dude at the liquor store that slapped the fuck out of them and called him a bitch. But they just like to start shit. They like to instigate. But anyway, fights. Let me get a brother some love.
Yeah. And we can't even get dates for our black fighters. Like, I'm being honest. Like it should say Jamel Charlo, April 28th versus TBA. Errol Spence, June 15th versus TBA. Like, it should be like shit. Everybody else does it. Shit. I wish Jose Ramirez, May 1st against that guy, whoever else he's fighting. That's May 1st, right? February 20th was booked last year. Like, we can't even get our fights in advance. Like, the only fight we know that PBC is doing, the oldest fight is February 27th, right? That's shit. What's that? We don't know the fights they have in March. We don't know the fights they have in April. So
Yeah, KJ Wright, Kenneth Johnson said, facts, Tony versus McCallum, multiple fights. Yeah, man, absolutely.
Fight.
Yeah, legendary and legacy for sure.
I hope they drop a schedule.
Sherman Callahan, he said, sounds good.
That was the best thing ever.
You on that.
You know how much money I saved when PBC dropped their schedule? You know how happy I was when they dropped their schedule?
15% by switching to Geico?
I paid less than $200. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
You said how much money did you save? I don't know. I said 15%.
Oh yeah, more than that. My plane ticket to Texas was less than $200. I left on a Tuesday, came back on a Sunday. My hotel was probably $60 a night.
Did you get mad at her?
Nah.
Okay.
Not one bit. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that I was able to plan is a big deal. It saves all of us a lot of money. Like, especially the fans that are actually buying tickets and people who are going down to Texas for the fights. We know it got to be in Texas now, right? So give us a date. Give the fans something to look forward to. Like this 6 weeks, and if PBC released a schedule, that'll be amazing. Like, Jamel and Jamal should have been on the schedule already. No brainer. Now they can't fight till May or April. The earliest fighters that we can see is April. You know, and then that means if they fight in April or May, they're not fighting again for the rest of the year. And then we're gonna sit here and talk about them for a year. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Let's get out of here for real this time. Let me see. Sweet Science Examiner in the building. Let me see. Money Mike, C-Town's finest. All right. Dory Jones in the building. Let's see. D. Will, we got you already. Jay Dixon there. He said, "Who has the schedule out?" I don't think the schedule out yet. I think it's going to come out in February.
I hope so. That'll be great. I want PBC to drop their schedule. I'm just saying. I know when Josh Taylor is fighting Ramirez. I'm looking forward to that. That's a good fight. I was looking forward to those 122 pounders. We tried to have them on, we had them on the show. I was looking forward to I'm looking forward to February 20th. I'm looking forward to seeing them motherfuckers bleeding to death as I think they are. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Adrian Broner coming back. I'm not Debbie Downer as it pertains to boxing. I just want what should be expected. I'm just asking for what should be expected. LeBron James, we want LeBron James to play Brooklyn, right? We want them. But if we don't get it, we understand that somebody knocked Brooklyn off or someone knocked the Lakers off. So.
Yeah, speaking of that, the Lakers won today. Shout out to Purple and Gold.
Yeah.
Big Tank said some of y'all new names and new faces around my tripping. Yeah, Tank, it's a bunch of new people in here, man.
Thank you.
So what they do is they sit back in the cut and they listen to the show, which is cool. The support is great. But then once they hear something that I say, Fred say, or they just see something that they don't like in the chat, then all of a sudden that's when they go in. But they usually wait for it to be a point like today where Fred has a different view than the majority of the chat.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then they want to jump in on Fred as if they agree with the chat.
Oh,
those are just suckers right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I take a fade when I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to jump out when I'm with a whole bunch of people. Corrupt had a song and Pac had a song. You know what I'm saying? You ain't shit without your homeboys. Anyway, let's see who else we got. Pound for Pound Boxing Channel in the building. My homie Mike Weary the Great in the building. Keith Sam, he said, gotta go to. What he said? Oh, okay, got to the chat late. Salute. Oh yeah. You can go back and watch the show, man. It was a good interview earlier, man. Yeah. We got Yovan here. He said 122 is lit. Yes, indeed. The chef in the building. My brother Chef Curry in here. Slick T said, Fred, who's the next guest?
Lincoln Kennedy tomorrow night, and hopefully he's not watching. I'm gonna tell y'all the story of how I named y'all, so y'all know that's he inspired my kids' names, and he has no idea. So we gonna experience that live on the show tomorrow. So I'm excited to have him on tomorrow. So
Candy, yeah, love it.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I haven't seen Lincoln Kennedy since 1996. We hung out all summer, and he's not gonna remember me, but we played basketball every day for a whole summer. And I'll explain the story tomorrow. Y'all hear tomorrow.
Yeah. G McKenzie cool. 7 in the building. Cletus Smith in here. Let's see. Man, let's see. I know, man. Give some love. Who else? We got Jeff in there. He said, "You ever see a boxer get in a real fight though? They get whooped." Huh? What'd you say, Jeff? You ever see a boxer get in a real fight though? They get whooped. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You ever see a boxer get in a real fight though? What? Yeah, I've seen plenty of boxers get in real fights, and I've seen plenty of dudes get beat the fuck up. I don't know where you've been. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, come try that shit over here. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Phantom Brawler. Yeah, people be talking crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get kicked on a fucking calf and then they don't know what to do. They be screaming like you hit them with a fucking bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, dude. Yeah, this shit crazy. Yeah. Okay, Jeff. Anyway, my family, my brother, Phantom Brawler in the building. Shout out, salute. PJ Big Dog, we got you. Let's see. Picasso, he came back. Oh, okay. He said he driving, so he ain't in the chat. But oops to my brother Picasso. You know what I'm saying? Shermaine Callahan, Cuzzo, we see you. Let's see. Damaso, okay. You came in a little late. We see you though. Let me see. H Money, Mr. Supreme. D Hodges, salute. Money in the Ghetto. He said, Usman or Burns? Usman. Yeah, man, got to do it. Got to do that Usman thing. Nate Johnson, I see you. Nate Johnson was going off in the chat earlier.
Was it?
All right, cool, man. Mr. Vegas, I think we got everybody, man. If we missed y'all, okay, Hustler Slim, we got you. Missed anybody, man? Thanks for the support. Show some love. Donate to the GoFundMe. Craig will post it real quick while we play the song. Patty Dean posted it a couple of times, so when y'all watch the replay, y'all see it in the chat. You mean support my channel if you can, and we're gonna go over and slide over to Reggie Owens, man. We doing some Black History Month stuff over there, and yeah, man, peace and love to everybody. Peoples Hernandez, you ready? Play the song, Fred.
Thank you. Today is a great day to go to the GoFundMe. It's a great day. And a year from now, I can't wait to be so right with y'all weak ass niggas. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yo, why we didn't get the fight? Watch Luis Neri. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll feel better tomorrow. Y'all know I just got to play a couple of visits, you know what I mean, and I'll be good. What's up, People Hernandez? What's up?
People Hernandez.
Man, but you know how you get them days where your stomach is just tying a knot? Oh. And you just like, man.
Just lay down right after this, man, and go lay down.
Oh, I am going to lay down for sure. Yeah, I am. Man, I was... Hey. BPD called me, said, "You all right?" I said, "I'm ready. All right, let's go." I was out like a light. And y'all not gonna ask PPD. I said, "Can you please call me at 8:50, please? Because I'm going to bed." I had like 50 minutes, man. Mm-hmm. So yeah. No, I would have responded the same way. I would have responded. The same energy you give me. That's the only way you can defeat it. Equal or greater force. That's it. That's just the laws of energy. That's it. Someone punch you, you got to punch them harder. You know what I mean? You don't punch them lighter. So. But I enjoyed it though. Everyone should have enough testosterone to go beat something up tonight. You know what I mean? Y'all got enough. We should got enough testosterone in us, man. Let's go. Have a great night.
Running game like I'm ASIC.
Oh, man. So I'm gonna snap tomorrow too. What'd you say?
The common goal.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna snap tomorrow. Yeah, because I'm excited for these fights. I'm excited for the fights that y'all think y'all gonna get this year. That should be easy to make. David Benavidez got 3 opponents at PBC. He ain't gonna get it. Gary Russell got 4. He ain't gonna get them. Shakur Stevenson got 5 opponents. He ain't gonna get them.
Because the devil is alive. Trap forward. I see you, Kaepernick.
Hey. All right, love y'all, man.
PC, Fredro, go lay your ass down, man. Go rest up, man. Orange juice, alkaline water. You mean? Chill out, man. Go watch a movie.
I'm going to bed. That's what I'm going to do for sure.
There it is. He's going to watch you.
All right.
Love you, bro.
All right, love you too. Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace, y'all.